All right, good morning. Welcome back to part 2 today. Hope you guys are having a great day. We've got about 4 hours. We moved the live today from 11 to 10:30, but I hadn't announced it at all yet, so I just let everybody know that was in the Discords. Just because we have a lot more to get through. We've had some crazy things come out in these trials. Not only just what happened with everybody and my family and everybody else, but more than anything, I'm just learning so much about what these prosecutors, these agents, everybody goes through. So, it's tough because they have to live with us for the rest of their life. So it's really hard to see that and see the pain. Well, good morning from Texas. You guys are so awesome. So good to see you. Yeah, we're going early today. Like I said, we have the rest of this is really long too. So what I'm going to try to do is make sure that we finish this one today. We need to get this done because there's a couple more things we got to get through before we start chat. So we got a little bit of a pace I'm trying to keep with us. So with all that being said, let's jump right in. You guys know I love and appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We're going to talk through this one and we'll see how it goes, man. It's been this one's been crazy. Hearing everything. The last thing we ended up stopping on was Chad thanked Lori for joining him in the shower. And then you guys told me that it was in spirit or on the phone. Effing yuck. I'll tell you that right now. Effing yuck. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, this is part of the relevance of a summary of an agent. It has to be viewed in context of the evidence overall. We aren't authoring the statement that Tammy was going to die for the truth that the person said it. What we're doing is to put this text and this communication in context. Put this communication in context of what the co-conspirators are discussing. And so while defense counsel's argument is that it's speculation, in context of his knowledge, his experience, his analysis, his looking at all of the iClouds, it's not speculation.
Well, it was hearsay was the specific objection lodged.
Well, and, Your Honor, it's a statement of a co-conspirator.
Okay.
In furtherance of conspiracy.
Well, go ahead.
I guess I'm just saying, I'm saying what he's saying is that the information that he got from other people that Tammy was going to die is hearsay. That was his response.
No, that wasn't his response, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, I'm going to sustain the objection. You can ask another question this way.
Had you learned from the review of
a lot of sicknesses in and out of town, that kind of thing. So we're going to have some really cool stuff on the channel. We're really going to be hitting it this next 2 weeks. You guys can get a ton of stuff over there on the media company.
Cloud and information that Chad Daybell told people that Chad, in his own words, said that Tammy was going to die.
Yes.
Okay. And knowing that information, did that put this text and SMS message in context?
Yes.
Okay. There's also a line that says, please ask about that. What, if any, significance did that line have to you?
During the course of the communications, there were several times where Chad and Lori would ask
we're
one
going to
another
be at CrimeCon. You get to meet Ray the man. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see you too. That's super exciting. I know. I'm really, really excited about that.
Confirmation of a specific plan or event that may take place in the future.
And so in this is an example where Chad is asking Lori's advice.
He's asking her to ask about what he's just laid out.
Okay. The next in that series has a line, good morning, my most beautiful Lily.
Oh
what, if any, significance did that?
Lily? I thought her name was freaking something else. Wasn't it? I almost said Martha and Girth. Like an old lady name. What are their names? Elena and whatever his name is. Elena and something. Okay, I can't think of his name. So Elena and something, but now she's Lily. Who's Lily? Is Lily just like a yeah, so I'm saying, like, come on, bro. How can you have so many nicknames? But I thought that he was calling her Elena because wasn't that her name in a different time? What is going on? How about every time you talk to your spouse, you just call him a different name? Hello, my sunflower Jaina. It's nuts. So Lily's a different life. Oh, now we're calling you everything. I did not want to jump into this conversation, but the fact that that was the thing for them, like to call each other their old names from their old lives that they made up, that's wild to me.
Line have to you.
Both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow had multiple names that they used for one another. Chad was known as Chad Daybell, Raphael, and James. Lori Vallow was known as Lily and Elena.
So they would call each other these names in between.
So Elena or Elena, but he probably thought Elena. Raphael. What is he, a Ninja Turtle? Come on, bro.
In between various texts.
Yes, for the most part, Lily was used very frequently by Chad Daybell in reference to Lori Vallow.
Okay. And is this discussion of thanks for joining me in the shower this morning evidence that Lori was physically with Chad?
No.
Objection, that's calling for speculation.
Imagine texting your girl when she wasn't there and go, "Thank you for this sweet time in the shower, Lily. You weren't there. How'd you spend time together? Ain't no way you portal jumped and spent time together. Why was she letting him pretend?"
Sustained.
Know or have information on July 14th, 2019 at 7:42 in the morning whether Lori Vallow was physically with Chad Daybell?
She was not. She was in Arizona.
Okay. And looking at this text, is it uncommon between the two that they would imply they had been with each other when physically that was impossible?
That's correct.
Is there any other reason of significance to you why you included this particular part of the text string?
The reference by Chad Daybell that soon the people on this
That
little
was my bad. I did set it for 11, and I thought we need more time to finish today, so I just started 30 minutes early. I should have told you guys. That was my bad.
globe will know how much he loved Lori Vallow.
Why was that significant?
It's directly relevant to their relationship with one another and their plans together in the future.
Your Honor, he's making I'm going to object. I think he's making a conclusion that's best made by the jury itself, not by a witness.
All right. Well, the objection's not timely, so overruled.
Thank you.
All right. Now, turning to sort of the end of this line of text communication, you indicated, "I love you so much. You are my greatest desire and best friend." Now, on with the story. What did that mean?
Please don't do that.
In the iCloud,
No.
in the SMS section, as well as
Please don't. I will vomit on live.
the email section, there is a story authored by Chad Daybell entitled "The James and Elena Story."
Hell no.
It is
Please summarize.
partly accurately historical as to real events, and it is partly fantasy. And so this is a segment that Chad Daybell sent to Lori Vallow on July 14th of 2019 that contains a part of this James and Elena story.
And you in your summary didn't include the whole story of James and Elena.
No, I did not.
Why did you pick portions?
I picked those portions that I felt were illustrative of how Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow met and some of the significant events that occurred early on in their relationship that were journaled or chronicled by Chad Daybell.
Okay. And so,
So he was writing down in a journal. He was writing down in a. Yeah, no, we're not going to listen to this stuff. I don't think I want to be honest with you. Yeah, I found this is what's funny. I didn't know when I did a video with Hidden True Crime, she mentioned the storm, and I didn't know what it was. So I thought she was referencing like how hard it has been, like the storm, like this bigger idea that there's a storm like this situation's like going through a storm. So I'm glad I didn't say anything crazy, because she said, oh, just a little bit of storm. And I was like, yeah, I guess it's just a little, like making fun of the idea that it hasn't been horrible. And I'm so glad I didn't say anything else. Like, what if I would have said anything other than what I said? You guys would have toasted me for all of time, because again, I did not know what the storm was.
These portions had relevance in terms of timing on when he sent them.
Not so much on timing of when he sent them versus the contents.
Okay. And but these were sent. This one, I believe we're seeing one of those texts on line 299. I'm sorry, 2933.
Like, what if I would have said some stupid stuff like, "Yeah, it's been a hard storm." Like, I could have said anything. You guys would have killed me for that. I genuinely didn't know what that was. Kelsey's like, "Do you know what that is?" Like, no. That's a storm, right? She's referring to a storm.
From Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow on July 14th, 2019.
Correct.
Less than 3 days after her husband died.
Correct.
Okay. Could you please read that into the record?
Yes. Line 2933, text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
Don't do it.
They would both attend the same event in mid-November, and it seemed like that day would never arrive. Each day they opened their hearts to each other a little more. James knew he could trust her with the mysteries of the universe that had...
He freaking wrote this in his journal. I just don't want to, if it gets any kind of explicit, I don't want to hear anything like that. Just sounds like this is a journal entry.
Been revealed to him. He knew they had been married before, and they had been close friends with the Savior when he lived in Jerusalem. James had served in an important position in the Lord's church, and Elena had been his beloved spouse and best friend. That relationship was now meant to continue in this lifetime.
And did that text exchange between Lori and Chad continue?
Yes.
And that was at July 14th at 3:05. The next one.
Correct.
Okay. Could you please read that one into the record?
Yes. Line 2930. Text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. As James and Elena talked on the phone, he tried to delicately describe their connection to each other, and he was delighted that she believed him. He also shared that
means you're both dumb as hell.
They had been married at other times on a previous world, and she accepted that information as well.
Previous world? Are we expanding the universe? Why different? It's a different world. Previous world? You mean this world?
James was overjoyed to have these memories restored to him because he truly loved her with all of his heart. He knew they were meant to be married again and complete important missions together before the second coming. He was ecstatic that she was receiving confirmation of these things as well.
That's what interests me the most in this situation, is the fact that there was confirmation. What the hell? No one was confirming that to her. There was no God telling her, yep, get with him. If anybody, you were talking to your taco Satan.
They talked on the phone. The spiritual connection was so intense that it also produced physical desires. And it was as if their spirits were making love despite the great distance.
Hell no! Are you stupid? What? Your spirits were making love? That doesn't happen.
Between them. James knew his spirit was visiting her during those occasions.
Oh,
he also became aware.
Objection misstates the actual text.
It was misread.
I'm sorry, what did I misread?
If you want to just start again, James knew his spirit. We don't need to start all over again.
All right. James knew his spirit was visiting her during those conversations. He also became aware that his spirit would visit her at night, and they would wrap around each other in a sensual embrace.
I need out.
Kissing her was so wonderful and real, and he knew that the next time they saw each other, he needed to kiss her. He wouldn't be able to resist holding her.
I need to get the hell out of here. Ooh, I almost cussed it out, baby. Frick this. Frick this. Hell no. I'm going to bust through this. I don't want to hear this stupid stuff.
He was absolutely in love with her in every way.
Why did you include those fraction of the James and Elena story in your summary?
I included those because of the insight they give into the way in which Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow met and how their relationship began.
Turning to the next lines in Wally Time, line 2915 from July 14th, 2019. Could you please read what's included in slide 13?
Yes. Line 2915.
Oh my gosh. I just can't. That just is the stupidest thing. Imagine if, okay, and that, we're going to be very respectful of Kelsey here, but we're playing a role play game. Okay. So I meet you. Just role play with me. Okay. I meet you and I start telling you we've been married before. And I just keep going on and on about how we're best friends and all this stuff. And then I pitch you the idea that we have been making love spiritually. And I've been embracing you like Edward and Bella. I just show up and I just have embraced you. And then when I saw you in person, I had to kiss you. My passion was so strong for you that I had to kiss you. Can you fathom being told something like that? Can we just pretend? That's like when you first hit puberty kind of thoughts. Can we just come on. I don't understand. The portal love line. Yep. I just like, how do you think a woman would should respond to that? That's just stupid. That's just stupid. Yeah, I've been snuggling you at night in a sensual embrace. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh, my Lily.
Text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Hanging in there, but really missing you too. Please find out the name of Mel's campout in Utah. I have no intention of going, but I feel it is our avenue to get together, whether she is still here or not. Line 2914 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Zion's family camp. Mel speaks Wednesday night and Dave speaks Thursday night. Shelly M is their main speaker. I roll. Line 2913 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Well, that should work for me to get away, though. I spoke at it 2 years ago, which is when I first met Mel. What time do you fly out tomorrow? Line 29.
Do you think he wanted to be with Melanie? That's a question. Melanie Gibb. That's a question. Was he just looking for something? Obviously, this dude was had the most outlandish, childish fantasies, and I think he even fantasized about the deaths. I think this guy was out of his mind. I think he's very, if not a psychopath, as close to a psychopath as you can be, because there's a big difference between sociopath and psychopath.
13 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. My trip to speak at the camp, July 24th through 26th, has been approved and is now on the calendar.
Why did you include that series of text between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow in your summary?
During the course of the investigation, we discovered travel
that
Chad Daybell undertook July 24th through the 26th, where he flew to Arizona to visit Lori Vallow. This is the
whoever
story
would have given an ounce of attention to this man, he would have done all the same things with.
That he came up with to justify his travel.
Did their texting continue on that 14th?
It did.
Can you please identify and reading the record what is contained on slide 14?
Line 2889 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
I'd like to know what he watched and what he not just watched as cinema, but what kind of music he listened to. That would really tell you a lot about him, a lot more. Those are those things that you do for you. It's a little bit much. Yep. I'm just saying, like, I hope this isn't too forward, but would you like a man to do that? Would you like your partner to like try to serenade you with made up fantasy to this degree, right? Like this is literally just off the wall, right? Like this isn't even like wooing. This is like we went to the clouds and we took our avatar hair and stuck it in each other's hair and we bonded and became one. Like that's the spectrum we're on here. We're in a whole nother world of like made up stuff, right? That's all I'm just saying. It's too much.
Need so badly to just gently kiss you for hours. Line 2888 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. It would likely lead to other activities. Line 2887 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell.
No.
Likely or luckily? line 2886 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. It would luckily lead to nakedness.
So this
Hell
text
no.
exchange between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow occurred on July 14th.
Why
and
does he talk like it's like you're going to that place, but there's like a softness to it? Like you don't just say it outright. You say it in like the way a little kid would say it, like a 12-year-old. It always led to nakedness. What? Like it just insinuates. I'm about to get out of here. How long is this part? Somebody please timestamp me.
8:30 at night.
Correct.
Okay, and that's of 2019.
Yes.
Just about 3 days after Charles Vallow was killed.
Correct.
Can you please identify and read into the record what's in the chat section of Lori for Style on line 2127?
Yes, this is a continuation of the chat between Lori Vallow, Cole Vallow, and Zach Vallow on July 15th, 2019.
Good.
Okay, Lori, it's been 3 days. You let us know our father passed away over a text message. 3 days, and we haven't heard from anyone. The only information we have is that one text from you saying he passed away. You disappeared after that. We need any information you have. What happened? When did it happen? How did it happen? Where is he now? Are there any funeral
If it
plans?
goes back, I'm serious. I don't feel good right now. I feel so gross. Like I just want to shake it off. I feel sick. Like what the hell, dude? Ugh.
And can Zach and I be part of it? We talk to him all the time, and now he's gone. He was our dad, and we loved him very much. We deserve answers. Also, why have you been the only one to contact us? We haven't heard from Colby or Tylee. I know they are affected too. I called Colby recently too, but he didn't answer. Is JJ
He
saying?
did call me. I didn't even know he called me. I didn't have his number. And he emailed me and we finally connected, but I was also really scared at that time. I stopped talking to a lot of people in my own family. I was confused. I was worried and I felt horrible. And I apologized to him for that because I should have reached out, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And it was just a moment of just freezing. And it was really hard. It was really, really hard. It was really hard. You know, I did a lot of things that I would have done differently in a different time, but I made a lot of mistakes. And yeah, I was barely talking to Lori at that point. There's just a huge jump back. And then 2 weeks after that, my appendix almost bursted. 2 weeks after Charles was killed, I was in the hospital going through emergency surgery. And you know, I was just like, bro, it was just that whole month alone was like, I don't know, bro. It was just so different. Like that month was one of the hardest months ever. And then, you know, you have all that time between them leaving to not seeing anything and knowing anything until what, June 9th? It was really hard. But yeah, I'm just being honest with you guys. I didn't make the best decisions during that time. You know, I didn't have a clear brain, and I just want you guys to know, like, just on the raw side of it, like, I made a lot of mistakes in that time. I made a lot of mistakes, and that's why we're here. It's to open up and talk about those things. And, you know, I really care about Cole and Zach. I understand that everybody deals with things differently. And, you know, it's just definitely a regret. Just like not talking to Charles. I didn't immediately reach out to Cole. I don't even think I had his number. But that's just what it was, man. It was just freaking hard.
And what does he know? I need to be kept in the loop about this all. This isn't a nonchalant topic you can just throw a text at and be done with it.
There you go. Nonchalant. So many people describe her as that.
Why did you include this particular chat from Lori for Style in your summary?
Mainly just to show the communication between her and Charles Vallow's children, and the fact that she did not communicate what had taken place.
And so she had communicated on July 12th with them about their father dying.
Correct.
Did you find evidence that she gave them any information in the text that you saw from July 12th to July 14th about what happened to their father?
No.
But the text that we saw between her and Melanie Boudreau and her and Chad had occurred in that intervening period.
Correct.
Appreciate you guys.
In that intervening period, did you see any evidence in her text communication with people of sorrow or regret or remorse over Charles Vallow's death?
Objection is not relevant.
Sorrow, remorse, and regret are consciousness of guilt and are highly relevant to a defendant's state of mind.
It's moved to strike, and it's also speculative.
Yeah,
You know,
okay,
I just always wish I could do better, especially when it comes to other people. You know, it's not like something you just exactly you say you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to navigate something like that. But if I could do it differently, I would hope that I would, you know.
Objections or responses, please. So the objection is overruled.
In the text messaging and the account that you saw of Lori Vallow from the time she notified Charles Vallow's sons on July 12th of his death to the time that Charles Vallow's sons reached out on July 15th, did you find any evidence or evidence of remorse, regret, or sorrow in the defendant's communications with anyone?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I believe that's the jury's province to decide that.
Overruled.
None.
Your Honor, we're transitioning to another section. I certainly can do that, but that will take more than 5 minutes. This might be a decent stopping place if you want us to end at noon.
Okay.
It's just tough. Speed it up even more.
We go ahead and do that since there's a little bit more time for this witness. At this time, I'll allow the state to continue with the direct examination of the witness, Investigator Hart. I'll just inquire as we get started with testimony again, since we had the weekend break. Detective, if you had any, or agent, I should say, did you review at all in any way any of the trial testimony in this case since we broke on Friday afternoon?
No, Your Honor.
All right. With that in mind, then, Ms. Smith, if you'd like to continue with your direct examination, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning.
Morning.
We had just finished with some text on July 15th of 2019 and ending with a chat that had occurred with Lori Vallow and from Charles Vallow's son. Do you recall?
Yes.
Let us turn to some more conversations or information you included in your summary.
Sounds like they're done with the James and Elena, which is really nice.
From July 15th of 2019. So if you could look at the next slide, I think it's noted as slide 16, and take a look at this. Now, this is the same exhibit that you prepared in summary for court today?
Yes.
Okay. And just so the record's clear, the summary is a summary of what?
It's a summary of content from two iCloud accounts,
I don't know if I
Lori
did,
at
but-
iCloud.com and lollytime at iCloud.com.
Yeah, dude, that was the beginning of the new flip in the worst way possible. My whole life changed that day. Oh, you want to see the hat? It's kind of a cool hat. I thought you guys maybe it's too small. I'm not even a golf guy. I'd like to be a golf guy. I'm not really good at golf. I'm a putt golf champion, but I'm not great at golf. I'd like to work on it at some point. It says, "Who's your caddy?" If you didn't see it.
That was part of the evidence submitted obtained by the investigators containing the defendant's communications with people.
Correct.
Now, if you could take a look at the next slide, and we'll go through just these two on the 15th.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Can you tell us why you
I just
included?
want to stop for 1 second and just say, like, you guys know, this whole situation, I was never planned in my life. I never thought I'd have anybody else. I genuinely thought my life would be lonely, other than obviously my family. But I really think that you guys don't understand what I mean when I tell you thank you and when I tell you I appreciate you. Like, that number is crazy. It's like a crazy thought, but I love our community. And it's like, it's just crazy to tell you how much, like, I hope this doesn't sound so nerdy, but like, I care about you guys a lot, and this is a beautiful thing. And it's just crazy that it's gone to this place. So I just enjoy spending time with you. I enjoy talking through things. I can't wait for us to talk about other cases from a different perspective and be able to possibly talk to other people who are involved and help them, and maybe just invite them into our community just so they have a place to go. Right. It's going to be a beautiful thing to have more people and a bigger family.
These two messages.
Yes, I included these messages because they were a reference to the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, and there was a statement from Lori Vallow about the status of that relationship.
Okay.
Love you guys.
If you could just read into the record, please, so that it's clear, what are the text communications between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow that you included from July 15th?
Line 2827 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
That's dope.
I know you won't get this text for another hour or so, but my love for you is overflowing right now. I just want to hold you endlessly. You are my wonderful best friend that I can't live without. Line 2826 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. And yet you are so sad. Missing you. Just landed. Got to get to work.
Yet you are what? Lori's not working. The hell are we talking about? Appreciate you guys so much. Oh, we got more people going to CrimeCon. I can't wait to meet you guys, man. I really wish that wasn't that far away. I wish we were a little bit closer to that. Now it's just so much anticipation, you know. Can't wait to meet you guys.
And so why did these two particular texts amongst the thousands that you saw catch your attention and include in the summary?
It discusses Chad Daybell's statement that he can't live without Lori Vallow, and she responds, "And yet you are."
Why was that
What the hell?
relevant for investigative purposes?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for legal conclusion.
My question was cut off, Your Honor. I said, why was that relevant for investigators' purposes?
And I'm objecting as it calls for legal conclusion.
It's overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He gets his A overruled a lot.
You may answer.
It was clear to investigators that the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow was a driving force behind the crimes that have been alleged in this case.
So she dissed him. She dissed him. He comes in. First of all, at this point, and this is going to sound cold, but sometimes I just have to be super objective and just give the perspective that I'm seeing. At this point, she's already committed all the way and taken lives, right? She's taken a life just so she can be with him. He comes in trying to keep a wife and this, hoping his wife will just go on her own, which is unbelievable to think that, especially after what they actually end up doing. But regardless of that, it just shows you that she's pissed that he won't do it, because I think she did it to show how serious she is and how cold she is. I mean, I just can't even talk about it without mentioning how cold she is. But from just an objective place, she literally committed and got rid of her husband just so she could be with Chad Daybell. So she probably feels slighted that he won't commit to her and do the same thing. I just have to wonder, did either one of them feel anything? Did either one of them ever feel the pain of what they did, or anxiety, or any emotions? Where there's any emotions there, like that is the most brutal thing ever to do to anybody, let alone someone you've been with for like over a decade plus, and just take them out so you two can be together. You could have just ran away. I never understood that. Like, just run away. Leave Tylee and JJ. We'll all take care of her and him. Like, we would have taken them. Me and Kelsey would have taken them. And I was 22. I would have taken them. We would have figured it out. It's not a question. They could have left their spouses and they could have went wherever they wanted to go and just get out of there. But they didn't want to be together like that. They didn't want to just be together. They wanted to kill everybody. Unalive everybody. And you didn't have to do that. Yeah, but she had some money. I'm sure if she would have just left, she could have got some money from the divorce, I'm assuming. I don't know. All I know is that nothing ever needs to be that deep, ever. You never have to ever take someone's life, ever, unless they are actively trying to take yours. I think that is the only spot. And even then, it would still be hard, right? It's not like you'd be happy. It's not like you'd feel good if you had to do that. I'll never understand, bro, ever.
Turning to some conversations on July 18th, and I believe these go on for a few bits, but could you take a look at them? Why did you include these particular communications?
This slide and 2 or 3 slides after this slide contain a text string between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow regarding the fact that Charles Vallow had changed the beneficiary of his life insurance from Lori Vallow to another individual. I included this because it was pertinent in terms of potential financial motives in this case.
If you could, starting with the lines on page 17, could you take a look at those and read those into the record?
Yes. Line 2706 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I just got the letter from the insurance company saying that I am not the beneficiary. It is a spear through my heart. Who do you think he changed it to? Brandon, or probably Kay. He left nothing for JJ. Line 2705 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
He left nothing for JJ. The only reason Kay got the money was to take care of JJ and not give it to you, which means he had some kind of I don't know, red flagging, or, I mean, they were going through the divorce, but yeah, you took his life and he left nothing for JJ. That makes no sense.
Wow, that's terrible. There's no way to find out. Line 2704 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I might be able to see when I get his computer on Sunday. I could check the emails sent to the insurance company. It will show change of beneficiary. He must have done it recently.
If you could continue on to slide 18, read those as well.
Line 2703 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. It seems you would have had to agree to the change.
Let's put this into context. Whoever told her that Brandon and Adam wanted and Charles wanted to take her out to get her insurance money. So the projection's right there. Her whole thing that she was telling everybody else is that that's why they're after her. They're going to take her money. So she's projecting exactly what she did onto everybody else. So Brandon was in that group, you know, in a sense of like not on their side and evil and all this BS that they made up about him and everybody else. So that's the crazy part, is that you look at the projection about what she was trying to do and they flipped it around. You know what I mean?
Maybe your name was forged.
Thank you.
You should
Ray.
have a good paper trail to prove it.
I'm going to have to go over to Torchies.
Line 2702 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I love you. This is terrible, but it is probably another step in bringing down the Gadiantons, especially Brandon. Line 2701 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Nope, he can change it anytime he wants. He's the agent, and anyone can change their beneficiary anytime with their own signature. I'm thinking it must be K. Line 2700. Excuse me. From Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. It will be interesting if it got changed after he had 2 bullets in his chest.
And continuing on this line of summary.
What a fucking cold thing to say.
Line 2699 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I don't think it could have. You can't change it after the death date. They would review that. Line 2698 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, I'm thinking Kay as well. She is probably freaking out that you got those computers. I'm going to shower and give you a blessing. I'm eager to get home so we can talk.
Showers a lot in the middle of the day. What the hell that dude doing?
It really will be okay, my love. You are wonderful. Line 2687 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. So I talked to the insurance company. He changed it in March. So it was probably Ned before we got rid of him. They can't tell me to who, of course, but it's done.
Okay, let's just be logical here in an illogical place. Why would a demon possessed person who hijacked the body go in and do something to change the person they hijack's life, other than the fact that they thought that every demon was only on the earth and only doing this to get to them, as if they were that important? Yeah, dude takes like 100 showers. What's he doing? I'm going to go shower. I'm in the shower. I'm going to go shower. Yep. Trust me. There's nothing here. And he's going to give her a freaking woomdy zoomadoomady stupid blessing because she unalived Charles and was willing to take his money, but she needs a blessing from Satan.
Still get the $4,000 a month from SS. Line 2683 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. When you get out of the temple, please text this phone. I'm home alone until about 3:30 your time. I love you so much.
Now, you indicated that you included this in your summary of the text because it discussed
Oh, you're not
potential
wrong.
financial motive for various crimes.
Correct.
Okay. Let's go back and look at the sort of beginning of this text communication. And why did you talk about getting the letter or include getting the letter from the insurance company saying that Lori was not the beneficiary?
That's why it sounds familiar. I don't know that story at all. If it is a Book of Mormon thing, I think I've heard that name though. That's what I was trying to think of, but I don't. Gadiantons robbers. So they're a bunch of robbers. They're not more evil.
Why did you include that text?
I included that because it was apparent that Lori Vallow was surprised to find out that the beneficiary had been changed.
And was there, turning to the next slide, was there anything significant to you about it is probably another step in bringing down the Gadiantons, especially Brandon? In your review of all the iCloud records in context of the entire investigation that you were part of, did you understand what that
Why
meant?
were Brandon and Ray so evil in their minds? I don't understand that. Like, why were they like such top dog evil? That's the people they dislike the most, huh?
Yes.
What did that mean?
Gadiantons is another reference to the Book of Mormon. The Gadiantons were a secret society, a group of robbers, evil people. So when the phrase Gadianton is used, it's simply identifying someone as being evil in this case, or also in this case, Brandon Boudreaux.
And why would the inclusion of Brandon Boudreaux in a conversation about Charles Vallow's life insurance money have any significance to you in the investigation?
I would object as it misstates the evidence that's actually been presented. There's no reference to Brandon Boudreaux.
I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Why would the reference to Brandon in the text at line 2702 have any significance to you as it's inserted in a text conversation about Charles Vallow's life insurance?
That particular line in and of itself isn't terribly significant, other than we know from the investigation that that marriage was also in a tumultuous time, but it was a text in a series of text strings, one following the other. So I included it in amongst this series.
And what, if any, significance was there to the conversation about he can change it at any time? I'm thinking it must be Kay. Did you know who Kay was?
Yes.
Who was Kay?
Kay Woodcock, Charles Vallow's sister.
And turning to the line 2687, what, if any, significance in the investigation was there to a conversation about $4,000 a month from SS?
That's an indication that Lori Vallow would still receive that amount of money on a monthly basis from Social Security.
And as of July 18th, 2019, had Lori Vallow yet started to receive Social Security from JJ or for JJ from Charles's Social Security account?
Not at that date. That took place a little later on.
And yet it's referenced in line 2687.
Correct.
And that text communication about anticipated Social Security funds was on July 18, 2019, from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell.
Yes.
Okay. Turning to additional conversations on July 18, 2019. Do you see those?
I do.
Okay. What, if any, significance to the investigation and or investigators' follow-up did this text communication have?
This short series of texts between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell is critically important because it is the first overt communication between them referencing the pending deaths of JJ and Tylee.
Okay. Can you read to us the text communications we're seeing on slides 20?
Yes. Line 2667. I have been instructed, from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I have been instructed to focus my efforts on Hillary, so I will. Line 2665 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Okay, find out her percentage for me and JJ's. Line 2660 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. She is at 0.13. I turned up the pain to 10 and placed a spiritual virus in her. He is at 99.99. Raphael visited him and told him to follow Amy into the light. I also assured him that James would love and take care of his mommy, which he will with all of his heart and soul.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? So that was Tylee. I don't know if I've ever heard that. Maybe I have. I know that she obviously said JJ, which is weird because everybody else has a name. So Raphael went and pleaded with the JJ as a person to go to the light. Raphael's Chad. Then they promised that James would take care of his mommy. So comforting JJ by telling him that James is going to take care of Lori while telling him to go to the light, while also unaliving him in Tylee. None of that will ever register. They just took everybody out that they didn't like. This sounds like the Lori list, if I'm being honest with you. This sounds like the Lori's vendetta list.
Line 2658 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. That is sweet. I miss you desperately.
In your review of the evidence and the iCloud in particular, what significance, if any, did the I have been instructed to focus my efforts on Hillary have in context of the investigation?
Hillary is the name of the entity that allegedly possessed or inhibited Tylee Ryan's body.
And so if you saw references to Hillary based on the context of the iCloud, that was talking about the spirit in Tylee Ryan's body.
Correct.
Now, in there's a communication where Lori Vallow is asking Chad to find out her percentages for me and JJ. What did that mean in context of your review of the iCloud?
The reference to the word percentage is a reference to death percentage, meaning the timing or pending death of the individual.
And
So
so
you have a timing where you're going to take the life. You're going to do that. So what timing are we talking about? When you're ready to actually make a move? And like I said, yeah, you guys said in the chats, like turning up the pain, like even though it didn't work, the mentality to make people suffer by spiritually with voodoo, try to get them to feel pain, your own children. Like if you actually believe this in the most humane way, you would probably say, I am broken over this idea. Like, let's say you actually found out that this, in no way do I advocate for this, but I'm just giving you a scenario. If you really thought this was true, you would still be broken. And if you were actually to get to the level of where they got, you would want to do it in the most humane, fastest way. Because even then, you should still love your kids. There's no love here, even outside of this made up situation. They don't actually fully think that they're possessed. They just needed some kind of anchor to pretend that there was something there, and then they did it.
there seems to be a response from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow about a number, that percentage and timing of impending death. Is that what we see in line 260?
Correct. You see two different numbers.
Okay. What are those? If you could explain those to us.
Jeff, this is going to call for some who speculate as to what these numbers are. I don't think there's any real proof, and I don't think there's been any testimony as to what these numbers are.
It's the same.
It's a
Yeah.
fact. I remember.
Were you familiar and did you read almost the entire iCloud?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see any information that would lead you to understand what those percentages mean?
Yes.
What information was contained in the documents, which were the defendant's own words, right?
Yes.
What information did you learn in the iCloud that would lead you to understand what those numbers meant in context of the defendant's statements and those statements of her co-conspirators?
There are three total conversations or sets of text strings regarding the death percentage for JJ, Tylee, and Tammy Daybell. There's this one, there's another that occurs on July 30th, and then the third one occurs on August 10th. The content of these three text conversations builds upon one another, and in the subsequent text messages, there is again references to being close to.
One moment, please.
Thank you, Mr. Bailiff. You can continue.
Thank you, Judge. I'm sorry, you got cut off. You were talking about reviewing multiple conversations about death percentages. And could you explain to us how it is you conclude what that means in context of the defendant's own words and the statements of their co-conspirators?
Well, the closer an individual was to 0 in some instances, or in this instance with JJ, 100, the closer they were to their death.
And what information did Chad Daybell
Did she think that I'd never watched this? I wonder if she thought that all this evidence that is there would never be seen by me, because she obviously told me that story. She doesn't know if I watched it or not.
provide to Lori Vallow about a number associated with Tylee?
He indicates that she is at 0.13.
And what number did Chad Daybell provide about JJ's death percentage?
99.99.
Did you see references throughout the iCloud in the defendant's own words and the statements of her co-conspirators to lead you to understand who Raphael was?
Yes, Raphael is one of the other two names that was used by Chad Daybell.
Names associated with himself?
Yes.
Okay. What was the other name again?
James.
Okay. And is that the reference to the individual later in that same section?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in response to this death percentage for Tylee and the death percentage to JJ, what was the defendant's response?
That is sweet. I miss you desperately.
What?
Turning to text communications reflected later in the iCloud, was there additional communication between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow on July 18th after the conversation about the death percentage for JJ and Tylee?
Yes.
Could you please, are those reflected in slide 21?
Yes.
Could you read those into the record, please?
Line 2656 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. You are so adorable, beautiful, wonderful, heavenly, luscious, and angelic. So many divine attributes rolled into one dynamic, desirable package. I want you even more desperately than you want me. Line 2622
Don't
from
do it.
Chad Daybell to
No.
Lori Vallow.
Stop with the
Just
sex.
grab me by the storm, and I will follow you to the ends of.
Oh, hell no! Frick this! Oh, hell no.
Oh, and then what? Back to crying and saying goodbye. Do you see those on slide 22?
I do.
Man, frick this. Nobody, I got hit by a freaking linebacker. Freaking, what's that dude's name from the Ravens? How did I forget his name? That dude from the Ravens, the Hall of Famer linebacker, that's what it was like. Man, damn. How do we go from talking about Tiny JJ back to grab me by the storm? Oh, hell no. Ray Lewis, thank you. Thank you, Brandon. That was Ray Lewis or Mike Tyson tagging me without even knowing I was going to get hit. Gosh, dang it.
What, if any, significance in terms of your review of the entire iCloud did that part of the conversation have to the investigation?
It's a reference to their relationship and the fact that it is now one-sided due to Lori Vallow being no longer married.
And what about the trip to Utah? What, if any, significance did that have in context of the other interviews and evidence that had been reviewed?
I don't particularly think the trip to
Oh,
Utah has a lot of significance.
God.
It's just one of the texts that concluded this string.
Okay. And the statement, I was told extreme changes are coming for me and Utah? Was that from Chad Daybell?
That's a reference from Chad Daybell
I'm bothered.
regarding changes that he's anticipating.
Now you've included on slides 23 a series of text communications starting in the Lolly Time account at line 2487 from July 20th, 2019. Do you see those?
I do.
Why did you include these text communications?
These are relevant because they demonstrate some of the religious concepts that were at play in this investigation, particularly as it relates to children being designated as being possessed or inhibited by demons. In this case, they're talking about Melanie Boudreau's children.
Blake, was that one of Melanie Boudreau's children?
That's her son.
If you could please read those into the record, these text SMS messages from Lolly Time into the record.
Yes. Line 2487 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. What's Blake's percentage? Line 2486 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. He drew 3 crosses on the wall in his bedroom. We just finished painting over them. Line 2485 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell, like he was marking it for the dark side to find him.
What the hell are you talking about? A child, a sweet, innocent, beautiful child, just like JJ, did something and literally says, oh, that this person is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm still bothered by the other thing. But makes it look like these kids do something a kid would do, possibly. I don't believe the thing about JJ doing the whole climbing up on the cabinet thing and knocking over the picture, but this just makes me angry all over again. Like, he just did this thing a kid would do that makes him dark. We already know what they think about dark spirits. Doesn't matter if they're children or adults. It doesn't matter. They're ruthless. So you don't know exactly what they just said about him. Hell no, bro. They're evil. Like, this is seriously evil. You guys want to know what they would have done? Who knows? Who knows how far they would have gone? They're evil people, bro. Evil people.
2482 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Blake is at 7. Sigh, S-I. I took my sword of light and sliced his aura vertically in several places. You should be able to now rip and burn it. Line.
Rip and burn it. I took my sword and sliced it. You are pathetic. Who believes that? Who would believe that?
2481 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I also decreased his pain tolerance to 1% and greatly increased his pain. His desire to depart is at 80%.
I understand you've explained you included this to show a conversation about the darkness of children. Did this text communication have any more significance to you?
I think that it is fairly self-explanatory.
Okay. Moving to the next text communication on the next day that you pulled and included on slide 24. Can you tell us why you included this series of text or SMS messages from Lolly Time in your summary?
Yes, this is a short text string that is a follow-up in reference to the life insurance beneficiary change. where Lori Vallow is communicating to Chad Daybell that she now knows who the beneficiary of that life insurance policy is.
Can you read that into this text exchange on slide 24 into the record, please?
Yes. Line 2438 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Found it. Ned gave all of it to Rhonda 2/26/19. Line 2432 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Glad you found that out. Line 2430 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. It fits. Now she will try to take him. THX for working on her. Work on me too. Reading all this stuff makes me sick. Line 24.
Makes me sick. Oh, man. Oh, it's hell in a cell time. Get them both. Bring them out. Get them in the cell. Lock the cage. They can have chairs, sledgehammers, whatever you want to give them. Give it to them. Let them have it. I'll go just this Des and Troy, baby. I'm popping these dudes for this. Do it. This is sick. To go this deep and just keep going and on and on and on. Name them, all this stuff. It'll never ever make sense. Yeah, especially if you think that you say you believe in Jesus. You ever did Jesus go up and unalive kids who were possessed, or do that to anybody? Did he unalive anybody? Ask and answer that question for me, Lori.
3 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. We will work hard on Rhonda when we are together. I will get her numbers as low as I can by Wednesday. Line 2419 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Good. Let's work on it hard.
Now, you indicated it was information about the life insurance account, but in your review of multiple communications of Lori Vallow and multiple communications of Charles Vallow, was there a common association with the name Rhonda?
Yes.
What was that?
Rhonda is the name of the entity or dark spirit that supposedly inhibited Kay Woodcock.
So
reference in here about
them is dark.
Ned, that we've heard that before, that was?
Ned, the reference to Ned is Charles Vallow.
Okay. And the reference to Rhonda was?
Kay Woodcock.
Okay. And so it's an indication that Charles Vallow gave the insurance money to Kay Woodcock.
Exactly.
And the date that Ms. Vallow, Lori Vallow found out it happened.
No, the date is indicative of the date that Charles Vallow changed the beneficiary of his policy.
Okay. Now, is there anything else of significance you wanted to review as to slide 24?
No.
Okay. Turning to the next conversation, I see a reference to James and Elena again. And I recognize you talked about this a bit on Friday, but since there's been a bit of a break, who are James and Elena again?
James and Elena are alternative names, James being Chad Daybell and Elena being Lori Vallow. The James and Elena story, which is contained in its entirety in the iCloud accounts, is partly historical, accurate information chronicling the events in the lives of Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, and it's partly fantasy.
Okay. So when you say the James and Elena story, is it just, one or two emails? Was it easy to put that story together?
Well, it wasn't difficult to put it together, but it's several segments written over time by Chad Daybell and then sent to Lori Vallow.
Okay. And so when you say several segments, there would be a text message one day, an email another, an MMS another, spread across iCloud accounts.
I believe it was limited to just texts and emails, but yes, it was spread out over time.
Okay. And understanding that you were one of the supervisory investigators on this, did you task members of the FBI to help comb through the iCloud and find the parts of the James and Elena story?
Mm-mm.
Yes, I saw all of the James and Elena story in my review of the iCloud accounts, but in order to corroborate portions of that story, I assigned an analyst to accumulate the entire story and then go through to find corroborative data or evidence to indicate the accuracy of the story.
So in order for someone to see the entirety of the James and Elena story, they either have to be able to hop around the iCloud.
Correct.
Or they have to have somebody kind of take it from here, take it from this date, and sort of put it together.
Yes.
Now, and forgive me, I just want to make sure I understand. I know a long time ago in the public, stories would appear kind of in periodicals. There'd be a segment in the paper one week, right? And then a segment in the paper the next. And over time, you heard the whole
I don't
story.
object. This seems to be a narrative from the
I'm just laying a foundation, Judge.
I'm not done objecting here. And it doesn't seem like there's a question, Judge.
And I'll also say that it's an improper question at this point. So,
Understood, Your Honor. May I approach the bench not on that issue, but I want clarification on some procedures the court outlined
yes.
on Friday? Thank you.
They kind of get spicy with each other, huh?
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Smith, you can ask another question.
Thank you. Agent, have you seen situations where stories are pieced out in a periodical over time?
Yes.
Okay. Is that similar to how the James and Elena story evolved?
Yes, over a fairly abbreviated period of time.
Okay. So there's no one text that any one person could go to that would give them the James and Elena story.
Correct.
And so in order to compile that, that would have to be like a summary of the James and Elena story.
Yes.
Now, turning to this text, could you please read the contents of slide 25 into the record?
No,
Yes. Line 2397, text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
don't do it.
James and Elena had agreed to visit the temple.
Nope.
Why would that be relevant to the investigators and the investigation?
The fact that a plan existed is relevant to the investigation and to the subsequent actions that took place over the course of time.
Anything else that, other than that there's discussion of what the plan was? And did you believe that to be a reference to a plan for what?
A plan on how we would progress together.
I'm not gonna listen. To
was there
James. It's too now. It's just way, way, way too risky. I'm not hearing anything else from that.
anything else significant about this particular text?
The only other thing I would add is that this mission included being with him.
And in terms of the portion of the James and Elena story that is reflected in line 2395, why did you include this portion?
This I included for the reference that two lonely, misunderstood souls had finally found their best friend that they could trust and
What
confide
I
in,
tell you,
as a reference to their blossoming relationship.
that's what it is. That's him mostly. She wasn't as probably isolated as him, or felt as lonely. She definitely felt she definitely wanted to have some kind of purpose. So I gotta fix my stupid shorts. I gotta learn a lesson today. Get these gosh dang shorts changed out. Okay. But anyway, the thing is that's the projection of how he feels. So that's why it's a pitch of best friends forever. I guarantee you they did probably not click as much if they didn't have this spiritual craziness together. Or him worshiping her, there's no shot they would have just like fallen in love. So yeah, no, 100% Tess. He did that too. Like he had no holdback on that worship. He worshipped her. Ugh.
Now, when you say a reference to their blossoming relationship, I thought they had met in November of 2018.
No, they met in October 26th through the 28th of 2018 at a conference in St. George, Utah. The second time that they met in person was in mid-November at a conference in Arizona.
And so if they had met in October and then again in November of 2018, why do you say blossoming relationship that as reflected in a text from July of 2019?
Because the James and Elena story is the history of their relationship.
That's
So he is
awesome.
talking about
Good to
their
see.
second meeting where they had decided to attend the temple and do a sealing ceremony.
And did you see a response from
Yeah.
Lori Vallow in response to receiving the James and Elena story?
Which is weird.
She loved it.
And at this point, how long has Charles Vallow been dead?
10 days.
Was Tammy Daybell still alive?
Correct.
Moving to the next part of that James and Elena conversation, you referenced the temple, and the text appears to reference the temple.
Don't do
Did the investigators follow up to obtain temple records?
Yes.
And were those temple records analyzed?
Yes.
What information of relevance to the investigation was obtained in the temple records?
Those records show that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow attended the Gilbert, Arizona temple together on November 16th
Why was he in-
of 2000.
Why was he in AZ so much?
Would that have been
2018, I'm sorry.
2018? Okay. And would that have been that second meeting you referenced?
Yes.
Objection, this is speculative, Judge. Move to strike.
Overruled.
Is there anything else of relevance to this segment of this one text that's a part of the James and Elena story?
Yes, according to the story, that in attending the temple on that date, James and Elena knew they were now sealed together as husband and wife,
You got
showing that they believed
sealed.
they were married.
So you got fake married in the temple on your own power while she's still married and your husband was unalived by you. I don't understand, dude.
And the temple records that you reflected that both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow had been at the temple in Gilbert, Arizona in November of 2018,
November 16th.
at or near the same time.
Yes.
Did he pitch that for real? He pitched that he was on tour for his book. She had to know that couldn't have been true. You got to know that that's not true.
Now, did you see, as reflected in slide 28, did you see any additional response of Lori Vallow about receiving this chronicle story of James and Elena?
Yes.
Is that what's reflected or part of it reflected in slide 28?
Correct.
Can you please read that into the record?
Line 2388 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. It's making me so happy to read about our life that I am finally going to dance. Missing you and loving you from afar. Line 2374 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. It was great. I feel free again. I love you more than ever and can't wait to be with you forever. I'm begging father and mother. That's my job tonight. Line 2373 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I will be right beside you, begging just as much. I need you desperately.
Why
You
did you?
already have each other. You should have got a divorce and walked away, both of you. Man, gosh dang it, you guys are stupid. Go live your fantasy bullshit somewhere else. Leave everybody alone. You could have done that. It would have been hard for everybody, but it'd been better than everybody else being taken out. Anybody else would agree that you guys, everybody would have rather you disappeared with each other than do what you did after. It's not even a question.
Include this part of the communication from the iCloud in your summary?
I believe it was relevant to show Lori Vallow's response to the segments of the James and Elena story.
Now, turning to communications on July 22nd of 2019, why did you include this series of communications from Lolly Time in your summary?
I included these communications because it contains a clear reference to the plans that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow had to be together and disclose the location where they intended to live as part of their plan.
Could you read to us in the record the contents of the text included on slide 29, and I believe it also goes into 30.
Line 2352 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Love you. Going with Garth in an hour to see Other Side of Heaven 2. Missing you desperately, but so excited to be with you. Line 2349 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I love you. You will enjoy the scenery. Looks like Kauai a lot. Line 2346 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Hopefully we will be there someday soon together. Line 2345 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. That is the plan. Line 2344 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. And my greatest desire. Line 2334 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
Don't do it.
Hi, darling. Back from the movie. We enjoyed it. I look forward to being on a tropical island with you.
So what significance
So they already were at that point that they were going to Hawaii.
did the reference to Kauai have to you in your review of the iCloud in context of the evidence that had been accumulated?
In the totality of the case, for the entire time span of the case, it's relevant because Kauai is the island where Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow traveled to be married, and that is the island where they were found after the children were known to be missing, and ultimately that's where Lori Vallow was arrested on some charges.
Okay. And so, but they were in Kauai when?
They were married in Kauai on November 5th of 2019, and after being contacted by the Rexburg Police Department for a welfare check on JJ, they traveled the very next day to Kauai.
And so, but this text communication referencing a future together in Kauai was in July of 2019.
Correct.
Again,
Why can't they just portal everywhere? If you pitch the portal so much, what I'm wondering if the portal is spiritual portaling, like your spirit goes out and what's that freaking thing called? Astral projecting, and like you're not actually leaving, you know what I mean? You're not physically going through it, your whole body, like spiritual stuff. Sounds like they believe that a little bit more. But if they're always talking about portals, it's very clear you've ever seen any lore or stories on portals. You jump through portals physically and put into another place. That's the whole point.
Tammy Daybell was still alive.
Yes.
Was there anything else of significance on this particular slide?
No.
Moving to slide 30, what, if any, significance did this text communication have to you?
This series of texts is significant in that it is a positive affirmation that of their belief that Tylee is possessed by
you guys. If you've ever been to Kauai, it's first of all, it is one of the most beautiful places on this planet Earth. I personally still love it. I did struggle with it, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to let my special time with my family and all that stuff be taken over by somebody. It's still its own place. They might have put a dirty stamp on it, but I'm never going to allow her to take that away. But yeah, she would just sit there and go. I told you guys there's a beach on or a hotel on the beach where they were found, which is Kauai Beach Resort, which is really hard to know because, you know, that's the place where we spent Thanksgiving, Christmases, all kinds of time there as a family specifically. So with that being said, there's a beach. The beach is right there. Literally, you can walk out from the pools down to that beach, and she would go down there with her headphones and just listen to music and dance like an idiot. So with that, that's just what it was. So yeah, it's definitely a special place for her.
sort of entity.
I'll be right back.
And Lori Vallow is asking Chad Daybell to check on Tylee to see if that entity has been switched from her body.
In line 2276, was there also a reference to JJ?
Yes.
And that was in a text communication initiated by Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell, correct?
Yes.
And then line 2244 is a text communication from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell wanting Chad to check on Tylee.
Correct.
Okay. And then 2243, again, was a text from Lori Vallow initiating to see if Tylee was switched.
Yes.
Okay. And so when switched, just so that we're clear, in context of the defendant's communications, how did the defendant's communications use the word switched?
That was used to indicate one evil entity leaving the body to potentially be possessed by another.
And this is a text communication initiated by Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell.
Yes.
Anything else of significance in this text line?
Do I need to read it in the record?
Thank you. I apologize. I missed that one.
It's
Yeah.
actually on 1.5 right now, guys. It's even faster than our usual one just because it's such a long one.
Yes, please.
Line 2276 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Good morning. Missing you. Didn't sleep much. Need you to check JJ. Weird stuff happened in the middle of the night. It's like they distracted us with Blake. Line 2244 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. When you get home, check Tylee. She's being super sweet and helpful, and she cleaned her room. She is.
Oh, yeah, that's what demons do. Demons are so nice and clean their rooms. You can't, they just tag anybody's behavior just gets tagged as the reason why I know. She's being super sweet and cleaned her room is the reason why you know she's more evil. Man, you're oh my gosh.
Not switched. Totally not her. Line 2243 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. See if she got switched. Line 2241 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, she was switched. Please let me know when you can talk and I will explain it.
The manipulation, this is what I've been waiting for this whole time. I've always had my theories on who was more of a ringleader. It's pretty crazy, though. You have to see she was very much a leader and did a lot of things, but also you had a I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I went on my run and I just got tired. But yeah, dude, this is crazy stuff. Like, I always thought who was really the one who did this, but you can really see that Chad really did, at least in a lot of way. A lot of the spiritual stuff was him telling Lori, like, confirming stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude. How stupid is that? Yep, they're demons because he crawled up on a thing. You want to know the most uncharacteristic, most unrealistic, one of the most unrealistic stories is the fact that she said that JJ climbed on the thing and knocked over the Jesus picture and then said, I love Satan. I don't even know if JJ really knew anything about Satan. That is 100% a lie. It doesn't matter what she tells you. That's a lie. You don't even need to know. That sounds completely made up, so she could just take JJ because he was the last one. That's how cold she is.
Now, turning to a conversation on July 26, 2019, do you see that reflected in slide 31?
Yes.
And that proceeds into slide 32, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you include this series of text communications in your summary?
This is, again, an occasion where Lori Vallow is asking Chad Daybell to check on her children based on their behaviors.
Could you read slide 31 into the record, please?
Line 2120, text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. How are things at home? Line 2119 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. She's fine. Need you to check JJ. She said he was calm and he watched movies all day, which he would never do. Line 2118 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Missing you.
Proceeding on to the text communication on slide 32. Could you read those into the record?
Going back.
Line 2117 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Missing you too. It is still JJ. I'm told she is lying about him being calm and watching movies. Line 2101, text from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Mel knew. She called me. She felt the real Brighton last night and knew she was different. She was told I didn't want to tell her. She is taking well and knowing it is part of a big plan. She is amazing, although I'm still pretty upset over it. I love you. Trying to hang in there, missing your kisses.
Wait, what? Who kissing who? Oh, is that still Lori? saying that about Melanie? I'm sorry. I must have misunderstood that. Hold on.
To show Lori Vallow's response to the segments of the James and Elena story.
Now, turning to communications on July 22nd of 2019,
Very
why did
wide.
you include this series of communications from Lolly Time in your summary?
I included these communications because it contains a clear reference to the plans that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow had to be together and disclose the location where they intended to live as part of their plan.
Could you read to us in the record the contents of the text included on slide 29, and I believe it also goes into 30.
Line 2352 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Love you. Going with Garth in an hour to see Other Side of Heaven 2.
This is freaking
Missing you desperately.
way
Was
far back.
calm and he watched movies all day,
Right.
which he would never do. Line 2118 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Missing you.
Proceeding on to the text communication
Sorry,
on
I rewind
slide
it.
32. Could you read those into the record?
Line 2117 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Missing you too. It is still JJ. I'm told she is lying about him being calm and watching movies. Line 2101, text from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Mel knew. She called me. She felt the real Brighton last night and knew she was different. She was told I didn't want to tell her. She is taking well and knowing it is part of a big plan. She is amazing, although I'm still pretty upset over it. I love you. Trying to hang in there, missing your kisses.
How can you be upset with a made-up situation? You two are making this up as you go. And JJ, the babysitter's lying about JJ being calm for his demon's sake. Do you even have a brain?
Now, between slide 31 and 32, why did you include these particular text communications in addition to checking on JJ and Tylee? Why did you include these two slides?
I included them because of the references to JJ and then the other reference to Brighton, who is another of Melanie Boudreau's children. Based on the content of that text, appears that Brighton has now been designated as being possessed by an entity.
And you say Melanie Boudreau's children. Was that child's father Brandon Boudreau?
Correct.
Now, it also says there's the word big plan. In context of the defendant's communications, what did big plan refer to?
It referred to those things that would take place in the future that were being planned by Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
Now, did you review the iCloud for discussion of a plan or future together?
Yes, there are several references which I have included in the summary presentation to plans and the future.
And that use of the word plan was used by Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell.
Correct.
Any idea how many times?
No.
Okay. Turning to communications, also on July 26, 2019, reflected in slide 33, why did you include these particular communications?
July 26, 2019 was the day that Chad Daybell flew home after having spent a few days with Lori Vallow in Arizona. And this is the message that he sent to, these are the messages that he sent to Lori Vallow upon his return to his home in Rexburg, Idaho.
Could you please read those into the record?
So he was flying out houseway. How is he getting out? How is he leaving so often?
Sure. Line 2066 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I'm home, missing you immensely and feeling very tired, but I had a splendid time with you, my love. I will text again soon. Line 2059 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Tonight I figured out who I feel like. I'm a grown-up version of Harry Potter.
Oh man, you are an idiot. Harry Potter with his wand? Get the frick out of here. That's like me telling you I feel like Anakin. It's a fictional character. We always talk about this, man. I love pop culture stuff. I love this stuff, but I don't equate it with real life. You can only use the psychological pieces of the character built in from real life. That's what we compare to. You know, I don't think I'm Luke Skywalker or any of these characters. They're characters. They're made up. You like the story for whatever reason. You're the grown-up version. Hey, guess what? Harry Potter grows up, doesn't he? I'm the grown-up version of Harry Potter. You've got to be kidding me. I know how I feel. Oh man, you are so stupid, bro. And that's no hate. I'm not throwing shade at Harry Potter fans, man. I've never really watched it, but come on, bro. You've got to be kidding me. What are these references? Allie says, sorry I'm late. I lost my best friend's 16-year-old fur baby. Can barely breathe. I'm crying so hard trying to hear, but my heart is aching so bad. I'm so sorry, Allie. I'm sorry about that. We're here for you, though. He's definitely a magic spell fantasy. He's very fantasy. Fantasy.
Has to live with the Dudleys in his little space under the stairs. Every few weeks, I get to escape and have amazing adventures with my goddess lover. Then
Your ass is under the stairs, and then you finally get out of your prison. You're the man of the house. Gosh dang, you're a cat. You're a cat. I'm not gonna say it, but you're a cat. You're a cat, brother. Then you get to get away and cheat with your goddess lover. Come on, Harry. Get the frick out of here. This is like literally something you would expect a 10 to 12-year-old to say. For real. I get to go. And that's the thing. She loved this. She ate this up. I'm just Harry Potter under the stairs. And I free my prison and escape with my goddess lover. Get the frick out of here, you nerd. Frickin' nerd.
have to return to my place under the stairs, feeling trapped. But I sense permanent freedom is coming.
Why are you trapped? You have free will. Yeah, that's ridiculous, bro. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
As of July 26, 2019, Chad Daybell was still married to Tammy Daybell.
Correct.
Okay. Anything else of significance as to slide 33?
No.
Turning to communications that you included from July 27th from the Lally Time account on slides 34 and on slide 34. Why did you include this text communication?
I included this because of, again, a reference to the timing of...
If you have to literally worship somebody to get them to like you, you're beyond the word pushover. Like, get the frick out of here, bro. You have to be worshipped to like this guy.
the events that took place in this case.
And when you say a reference to events that took place, what particular events took place that these would reference?
The events I'm referring to are the crimes that are alleged in this case.
And so could you read slide 34 into the record, please?
Line 2043, from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. From Mel B, from father. My sweet daughter, you have done well. I am very pleased.
My sweet daughter. Did we hear that before? Was Chad her dad in a past life?
Have been prepared for every moment and surrounded by those who love you. You need not fear the future happenings, for they are strategically placed out for your benefit. Be at peace and be still. Enjoy the little things. Have no fear of the unknown or of people's choices.
Oh, you want to talk about no fear? Hell in a Cell, me and you, one-on-one. Let's see if you have no fear. Baby.
You have overcome all. Things will be fast-paced and you are ready. I love you so much. Godspeed. Now, don't mind if I speed things up a bit. Line 2042, from Lori Vallow to Chad
Do you have a click remote? What are you going to speed up?
Daybell. That is a very nice message Mel B received. I won't mind at all if he speeds things up a bit. Line 2038, from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, I miss holding you in my arms, caressing and kissing you.
Hell no.
I feel Mel's message was meant for us too. You are so wonderful.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Can you explain to us why you chose to include these texts in your summary?
There's a reference to a timeline, and speeding those things up.
And who was the reference to from father?
That is a reference.
I'm going to object this. This is speculative, Judge.
Sustained.
In your review of the iCloud account and the defendant's Lori Vallow's communications with Chad Daybell and others, were there references referring to one or more of the co-conspirators as dad or father?
Yes.
And in the references between Lori Vallow and her co-conspirators, who did dad or father mean?
Chad Daybell.
Is that a reference to father from Melanie Boudreau in line 2043?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, it misstates the testimony. It misstates what's actually being read here.
I'll overrule the objection at this point. There was a foundation laid for the comment, and you can delve into that on cross if you like, Mr. Thomas.
Very good.
Anything else of significance on this that you want to make sure we review?
No.
Turning to the next slide, 35. I see you included a series of communications. Why did you include this section?
These texts are indicative of the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
Could you please read the text that you included in to the record?
Line 1935 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Are you mad, sad, what? Line 1934 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I'm doing okay, just no privacy here to hardly text, and I'm missing you immensely.
No privacy to creep around a corner and cheat. That's all you were doing. That's insane. Oh, can you press play for me, brother?
I feel good about the trip. Line 1933 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I need a distraction while I'm waiting for you. I love you. Line 1932 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Absolutely. I think you'll have a fun time.
And so you indicated that text communication seemed to be indicative in context of your review of the entire iCloud of the relationship between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. How so?
At this point, we are a few weeks after Charles Vallow's death, and Lori indicates to Chad that she is waiting for him and is going to be taking a trip as a distraction while she's waiting.
And from your review of the evidence, did you see whether or not Lori took a trip?
Yes.
Where did she go?
The coast of California.
Ms. Smith, and I hate to interrupt, but before you publish the next slide, could I confirm that was the slide that had some potentially personal identifier information that needed to be redacted or have that removed? Would you confirm that before it's published, please?
Yes, Your Honor, it did. I can simply ask. It did not get redacted. However, it's pretty small. Can I redact it after, or do you want me to skip it and come back to it after a break?
Just make sure it's not published, please.
Okay.
Until it's been redacted.
Okay. Agent, if you could, on the next slide, there appears, and I'm going to do a little leading here just to avoid publishing, if I may. Okay. On the next slide, there appears to be some documents that were found in the SMS, which included documents of life insurance policy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Okay. Can you tell us what those documents are?
Those are two photographs, MMS messages that Lori Vallow sent to Chad Daybell.
Please don't.
And they are the screenshots of life insurance policy showing the change of beneficiary from Lori Vallow to Kay Woodcock.
And the date on the images sent would reflect that they were in the iCloud or sent in the iCloud on July 28th of 2019. I'm reading from the slide. Image sent from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell, July 28th, 2019, 9:40 p.m., line 89. Does that sound accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's a second image sent a minute later on July 28th, line 88, reflecting another page and a beneficiary of Kay Woodcock.
Yes.
All right. Why did you include those images in your summary?
Chronologically, the life insurance issue had been discussed between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow on 2 prior occasions, and this sort of concludes that as the photos that she sent to Chad Daybell to show that beneficiary change.
Okay. And so Lori is discussing the beneficiary on her now dead husband's life insurance with Chad Daybell.
Correct.
And then sending him proof of the change of beneficiary.
Yes.
Okay. You and I will skip past that, and then we'll redact it, and we can request permission to publish it at a later date.
All right.
Thank you. Now, turning to a text communication on July 29th, 2019. Do you see that on slide 37?
I do.
Okay. Why did you include this text communication in your summary?
I included it because of its references to causing pain to children.
Okay. Can you please read those, the text communications into the records?
Line 1877 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. One question. Do you want me to cause pain yet to those 2 threes you're riding with? Line 1876 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Probably hold off on then till we arrive. They will be mistake to deal with, but I'll text you if they start acting up and we can zap them.
Bitch, what? Zap who? What is going on in y'all's brains? If you actually had these powers, this is what you do with them? If this were real life, this is what you do? Oh, hell no. Oh. Oh, you'll find out quicker than a hurry.
1875 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Miserable, not mistake. Line 1872 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Sounds great. Yes, if they are going to act up, we'll at least give them a reason to scream. I love, cherish, treasure, and adore you. The wonderful memories just keep coming back. You are mesmerizing. Raphael is one lucky guy.
Man, you stupid. Ooh. You are an idiot. Who even refers to themselves as in third person anyway? Raphael is a lucky man. Your name's not Raphael, dummy.
Now, on July 29th, was this the time I think you had mentioned Lori Vallow was getting ready to take a trip?
Yes.
Okay. Who was she on that trip with?
Melanie Boudreau and her children.
Okay. Were Lori Vallow's children with her?
Gosh.
I am not sure if Tylee was present. JJ was with her.
Okay. And so when there's a reference to the 2 3s you're writing with, in context of the defendant's communications and her statements to Melanie Boudreau and her co-conspirator Chad Daybell, who did you believe those 2 3s were?
Objection is calling for speculation.
Sustained.
Did you review Lori Vallow's communications with Chad Daybell and Melanie Boudreau about this trip to California?
Yes.
Okay. And in that communication, did you have a chance to learn who was riding in cars with her?
They took one car with Melanie Boudreau's children and JJ. Again, I'm not sure if Tylee was present.
Okay. And we've seen previous text communications referencing Blake or Brighton or JJ as being possessed, correct?
We haven't seen communications yet regarding JJ being possessed, but yes, to Brighton and Blake.
Okay. And so did you have an opinion on who the 3s were that were in the car in light of the communications?
Brighton and Blake.
Why did you include this particular text string in the communications between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow?
The references to hurting children and giving them a reason to scream are relevant.
Okay. In any of these references, and I think you've mentioned a couple of times that concept, did you ever see Lori Vallow protest?
Just keeps it worse.
Like, don't do that.
No.
Turning to additional communication on July 29th, 2019, why did you include this series of communications outlined on slide 38?
This is the final communication regarding this life insurance issue with Charles
That's
Vallow.
just nuts.
Could you please read slide 38 into the record, please?
Yes. Line 1844 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. From Kay in response to what I sent Larry. Are you angry at me? Charles did this. I told him I didn't want to be party to it. BC. Somehow I'd be made out to be the bad guy. Low. All I can say is he must have had a reason to do this regardless of what I said. INS company called me to notify that I'm beneficiary. Wanting JJ for memorial has nothing to do with money. We want him here even though he won't know what's going on because it's a memorial service for his dad. We feel when someone passes that their children attend services to meet/visit with people that loved them in life. And BC, we miss him, period. You have the only say in this matter. If for no other reason, you and I should be able to get along with each other. It doesn't need to be hostile. We miss him so much. I'll leave in the morning to get him if you'd allow it. I'm begging you, please.
Wow,
Line 8.
dude. That's really hard to hear. That's really hard, man. It's really hard to hear.
1839 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Interesting message from Kay. She doesn't seem inclined to share the money. Hopefully Larry wants to talk to you. Line 1838 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. They are jerks. I was going to say, I hope you are going to give all the money to the kids and not keep it for yourself, but it's fruitless. I'm not responding ever.
And so you included this as sort of the end of the discussion
You took the money from everybody. You weren't going to give it to the kids. You killed the kids. What are you talking about?
on the life insurance of Charles Vallow.
That's right.
After this, did you ever find any evidence that Lori Vallow responded to any messaging, text, emails, MMS to Kay Vallow? I mean, Kay Woodcock.
I did not.
Okay. Did you include this for any other reason?
No.
Your Honor, I certainly can keep going. We have a substantial amount more, but I'm transitioning to a new area. Do you want to take morning break now or just keep going?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our morning recess.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
So we'll be in recess till 10:35.
All right, please. It's so hard when you can't see it, dude.
Noon, Tammy said she felt lightheaded, as if her body and spirit weren't connected. Line 1773. From
Your
Chad
body and your spirit, you can't live without your spirit.
Daybell to Lori Vallow. I will update the list and figure out Brandon, Adam, and others.
Do you want me to include the next series of communications or stop with these three?
I believe this slide is the conclusion of this particular text string.
And so turning back to the information Can you remind us again, who is Hiplos or Iplos?
Hiplos is the name of a demonic entity or dark spirit that was alleged to have been inhabiting Tammy Daybell's body.
In your review of the iCloud, what
I
significance
thought Hiplos was Charles's body, not Tammy's. I'm confused.
did the reference of Hiplos have in this text communication?
It is one of multiple names that were assigned to entities that at any given time inhibited Tammy Daybell's body.
And what about the reference to Charles or Ned?
Those are significant in that it clarifies when the word death percentage is being used, they're talking about the literal physical death of a human being.
And who is the one who initiated the inquiry about the death percentage associated with JJ?
Lori Vallow.
It's at 1.5.
And the information about both are being heavily shielded to stop
You want to hear it at normal? This would be normal.
intruders. What did that mean in context of the communication you observed between Lori Vallow and her co-conspirator, Chad Daybell?
Okay, did that not sound like slow-mo? That sounded like we literally put in slow-mo.
I'm not entirely certain the thought process on how they're being heavily shielded.
Did you learn anything about sort of the thought process on how close either Tammy or JJ were to death?
Oh, it's okay. It's
Well,
definitely
it says
set up, though.
Tammy is very close. She's at
That's
3%, and
normal.
then JJ is at 2%. So 2 and 3%, based on the content of the text, is very close to death.
And what was the defendant's response when she heard they were still at 2 or 3%?
She
Okay.
questioned why
Yeah,
they
that's
weren't
why I was
yet
confused.
at 0.
He did say Tammy was Hiplos, so I was like, did that actually happen? Was that actually they switched them out, or like Hiplos like was making the rounds? I don't understand.
What significance did these text communications have in terms of your review of the investigation itself?
Given the ultimate deaths of JJ, Kylie, and Tammy Daybell, it was significant in that it speaks about those deaths and that they are close to taking place.
And the person who initiates the desire for it to get to 0 is who?
Lori
Position
Vallow.
calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Could you read for us line 1777?
From Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell, 2 and 3%, not 0.
That was initiated by the defendant to Chad Daybell.
Correct.
And in terms of lines, the slides on slide 41, line 1774 and 1773, why did you include these as part of that conversation?
Yes.
Well, to have the conversation captured in its totality, but also line 1774 is another verification that they are indeed talking about real, literal deaths when he references for my friend's wife who died.
And so when you say real, literal deaths, as opposed to what?
As opposed to spiritual death or theoretical death or speaking about death in any terms other than a human being actually dying.
And then, is there anything else that you, any other reason why you included this particular slide in this summary?
Just that in the
You guys
previous
want to know something that's so funny? Like,
slide, Chad,
when Ray went up there to testify, I was sitting right there. I'm like 95% sure she's going to cross him. And when she did it, my first thought was I made a huge face. My jaw dropped. I put my hand over my mouth. So I was in a little bit of shock. And then I realized that she just didn't want to actually have to face someone who can destroy her with her own facts. Like Ray could have she would have lost the second they started going back and forth, because there was nothing that they could do. Nothing she could have done where Ray didn't know what she's said. And we're talking about everything. So it would have been a quicker grave for her had she actually tried to do that. So I think there's a couple people like that would have really got her. Ray and Doug just would end it so fast, especially if she was her own lawyer again.
Daybell stated Tammy is very close, and he concluded with Tammy said she felt lightheaded as if her body and spirit weren't connected.
And what
Really?
information was relevant about that in terms of the investigation?
Your Honor, do you object? That's answered.
Overruled.
Simply that when someone's body and spirit separate, they die.
I hate that. I hate the wasp sting and the bee stings, man.
So turning to slide 42. Do you see those communications also from July 30th,
Unfortunately, I'm just at a place where I need to start planning out my pants.
2019?
Yes.
Why did you include this particular set of communications in your summary?
Mainly for the last line, which references the fabulous life that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow are going to have together.
Could you read the contents of slide 42 into the record, please?
Yes, line 1750 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I believe Lilylicious is a terrestrial word that encompasses our time together. Line 1749 from Lori
Lilylicious?
Vallow.
Lilylicious. Did he just say Lilylicious? Let me go ahead and just go back about 2 seconds here.
And what was the defendant's response when she heard they were still at 2 or 3%?
She questioned why they weren't yet at 0.
What significance did these text communications have in terms of your review of the investigation itself?
What is going on?
Given the ultimate deaths of JJ, Kylie, and Tammy Daybell, it was significant in that it speaks about those deaths and that they are close to taking place.
And the person who initiates the desire for it to get to 0 is who?
Lori
Objection
Vallow.
calls for speculation.
It's not.
Could you read for us line 1777?
From Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell, 2 and 3%, not 0.
That was initiated by the defendant to Chad Daybell.
Correct.
And
Oh,
in terms of lines,
I'll wear a kilt. Don't even play me right now.
the slides on slide 41, line 1774 and 1773, why did you include these as part of that conversation?
Well, to have the conversation captured in its totality, but also line 1774 is another verification that they are indeed talking about real, literal deaths when he references for my friend's wife who died.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you say real, literal deaths, as opposed to what?
As opposed to spiritual death or theoretical death or speaking about death in any terms other than a human being actually dying.
And then, is there anything else that you, any other reason why you included this particular slide in this summary?
Oh, I'm trying to be William Wallace over here.
Just that in the previous slide, Chad Daybell stated Tammy is very close, and he concluded with Tammy said she felt lightheaded as if her body and spirit weren't connected.
And what information was relevant about that in terms of the investigation?
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, Judge object asked answered.
Overruled.
Simply that when someone's body and spirit separate, they die.
So turning to slide 42, do you see those communications also from July 30th, 2019?
Yes.
Okay. Why did you include this particular set of communications in your summary?
Mainly for the last line, which references the fabulous life that Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow are going to have together.
Sorry, I went way.
Could you read the contents of slide 42 into the record, please?
Yes, line 1750 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I believe Lilylicious is a terrestrial word that encompasses our time together.
A terrestrial word. You just make anything up you want.
Line 1749 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Yes, it does. Call me. Line 1748 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I love you. Until then. Line 1747 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, until then, I love you. Line 1745
Hey, Rain,
from Chad
welcome.
Daybell to Lori Vallow. No worries. Garth just arrived home. I absolutely adore you. We're going to have a fabulous life together.
And so is this another example that you
This is so sick, dude.
included of them planning for the future and planning their life together?
Yes, it is.
I see a reference to the word terrestrial, and I also remember from one of the previous slides there was telestial. In context of your review of Lori Vallow's communications in her iCloud accounts, how were those two words used?
In context of the review, the word telestial is a reference to this world, worldly, the time, place that we live in presently, and terrestrial is a reference to a higher plane of some sort.
And so when they say Lilylicious is a terrestrial word that encompasses our time together, in this context and in context of your review, what did it mean?
Objection is going to call for speculation.
I don't see enough foundation for him to answer at this point, Ms. Smith.
Were the words telestial and terrestrial used frequently within the iCloud, or on occasion within the iCloud?
Telestial was used quite a bit. Terrestrial was not used nearly as much.
Okay. How was telestial used?
In reference to this world.
And I believe
I love how fast she can pivot her questions, man. That's awesome. Like it's just crazy to watch real law happen rather than Lori trying.
you've told us terrestrial was used in what context, as used by the defendant in her own communications with her co-conspirator.
with reference to a higher plane, a more elevated place.
And so lulilicious would be reference to a higher place word encompassing their relationship.
Yes.
What?
Now turning to text communications that are reflected on slide 43, why did you include these communications?
There were some communications in the iCloud that provided insight into Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow's behaviors that were relevant.
And relevant to the investigation and to investigative follow-up?
Relevant just in establishing a pattern of life or how they behaved.
Okay. Could you read to us the contents of slide 43 into the record, please?
Yes, line 1117 from Lori Vallow to an unlisted individual. Panda was good, just got JJ to sleep. Gone to try to take a bath. Ty yelled at me for 30 minutes, then took off in her car. Won't answer me. Line 1116 from unlisted individual to Lori Vallow. That was expected.
In context of the investigation and the iCloud and the communications with the defendant, you said it indicated sort of a pattern of conduct. What did you mean by that?
There were voluminous communications between Charles Vallow and Lori Vallow regarding difficulties that they were having with Tylee as a teenage girl. And this is just one of those communications. Not between Charles Vallow. This takes place after his death, but it's one communication that describes that type of interaction.
Okay. And so in your summary, you tried to include
Okay.
examples of patterns you found throughout the iCloud.
Love
Just
it
a few.
too.
Okay. Now, turning to slide 44, what are we seeing here?
These are two MMS messages. Each is a photograph. One photograph is of Chad Daybell standing next to a portrait of Jesus Christ. The other is a photograph of Alex Cox standing next to the same portrait. And then each of them sent a MMS message to Lori Vallow attached to those photographs.
Could you read to us into the record the
How could you possibly even think you're doing anything close to godly at this point?
MMS text sent to Lori Vallow from Alex Cox?
Line 75 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Look at the bubbies.
And this was a photograph of Chad Daybell,
Correct.
and it was Chad next to a picture of Jesus.
Oh, look at the little cult bubbies. So cute.
Yes.
And could you read into the record line 76 of the MMS text message from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow?
Line 76, photograph of Alex Cox to exalted beings.
And
What?
why did you include these in your summary for the jury?
Two exalted beings.
For two reasons. One, to show Chad Daybell and Alex Cox together on August 7th of 2019. And in terms of the religious concepts that were at play in this investigation, the reference to Alex Cox being an exalted being.
And that reference to Alex Cox being an exalted being was sent by Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
Correct.
Is there any other reason why you included this particular section?
No.
Turning to additional communication on August 7, 2019, slide 45, why did you include this section in your summary?
I included this mainly because of the last text in this string, which indicates that Lori Vallow and Melanie Boudreau believe their children to be demons.
Can you read into the record the text communication on page 45?
Yes, line 1399 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell.
Here's why I'm so confrontational with these dudes. They literally went at people in their most vulnerable state. They never faced anybody, and they did it to children. I would stand toe to toe with them. And I'm not a revengeful person, but you give me an opportunity to stand in front of either one of them. It's nothing but hands. You wouldn't. Neither one of them had the ability to do anything with anybody other than the most vulnerable people, and it's even worse. And I'm not saying that they should be good at that. I'm just saying they did it to the most vulnerable human beings in their most vulnerable states. So they're not even, they didn't do it like with some people. Some of the criminals I've heard do things, they are pretty convicted, and they're also, I don't want to use the word braver, but like some of them also had lines that they wouldn't cross even when they're, ruthless. I think almost everyone I've heard, obviously outside of the percentage of people who do it, but there's a lot of people who do stuff like this and they still don't cross those lines to children. They won't hurt their own families. But yeah, no, just give them to me. Just put them up, and let's just go one-on-one. That's all we need.
I love you. Taking Braxy home now. I'll check on her. Line 1394 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. She is asleep. She put a bunch of holes in the walls and doors. Definitely had demons helping her, probably 1,000. Line 1392 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Mel wants us to come up there tomorrow, but I said next Thursday to Sunday. What do you think? Line 1391 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. We are both so tired of taking care of demons. We are weary. Please ask the Lord to take them.
Oh my gosh. You stupid idiots. You're tired of taking care of demons? You are the demons. Both of your asses are demons. Those are your children. If you don't want to do it, give them to somebody who will. Man, this swear jar would be full right now if I let loose. I'm telling you that. It's hard to hold it in sometimes, man. Bunch of children, sweet innocent children are demons, and you're so weary. Ooh, I'm holding it all back. I gotta move on.
In context of your review of the iCloud and the evidence in this case, what significance did that have from an investigative point of view?
The significance is the designation of these children as being demons, being possessed by some dark entity. And in light of what happened with JJ and Tylee, it is relevant to the investigation in its totality.
And looking at line 1391, who is it asking that the Lord take them?
It's a reference to their children.
Okay. And who is making the request that please ask the Lord to take them?
Lori Vallow.
Now, turning to the next line.
Begging God to save them from their children because they're tired of being parents.
Of communications as reflected on slide 46. Why did you include this set of communications in the summary?
This is the first of a number of pages of a text string that chronicles a fight between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell in reference to a trip that Lori Vallow was taking to visit Chad Daybell in Rexburg, Idaho.
Okay. Was that trip able to occur?
Yes.
Okay. And so you included this to sort of document the conversation surrounding that trip?
Yes, and the issues that arose with that trip.
Okay. Now let's read those into the record, and then we'll talk about those issues.
Line 1369, text from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. We just had a big fight, probably no go on next week. Line 1368 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. Are you okay? Line 1367 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. My heart is crushed, but I will never stop loving you. Line 1364 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. I love you. If you need to talk at all, just call me. I don't sleep anyways. Hang in there, babe. It was a hard day. Don't let the dumb things here get to you. You know who you are. Praying for our hearts to be made full and for the Lord to execute all things expeditiously.
Man, shut the hell up. Everything ain't about you, you selfish motherfrickers. You guys think the world revolves around your dumbasses, all this stupid shit you're on? Man, F all that. You guys are crazy with this. Hope God saves us from our children. Hope God protects us. We deserve to be protected. How about your kids deserve to be protected more than you? You should be able to lay down your life for your children. Hope God takes care of us. And get out of here. Been a hard week, babe. Got your back, babe. Shut the hell up.
Before we read the remainder of that sort of text exchange or surrounding that trip, why did you include these particular texts in your summary?
They affirm the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. This is the first instance of a fight between the two that I was able to observe in the iCloud. And the subsequent texts indicate the fullness of that particular conversation as it relates to this fight.
And what about the phrase, for the Lord to execute all things expeditiously?
Can't imagine.
What did that phrase, how was that phrase important to this text communication in context to the iCloud as you saw it?
No object is to speculative. It's calling for him to speculate.
I'll overrule that.
Melanie Boudreau and Lori Vallow were very close. Melanie was aware from prior text communications of the Lord's plan for them, and that is a reference to executing that plan.
Now, continuing with that conversation, can you, or that situation as reflected in the iCloud, could you read into the record the text from page 47?
Line 1348 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Missing you. Heading to the girl's funeral. Emma was her teacher and is one of the speakers. This is very difficult, but I will abide by your request to not talk. I hate causing you pain because I love you more than ever. Line 1345 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. You're the best. I hope your day goes well. I adore you. Line 1303 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Absolutely excruciating to be cut off from you. I love you.
If you could you read to us the next few lines on
He did get cut off.
continue down to slide 48.
Yes, line 1302 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Good night. Saddest day of my life. Line 1300 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Grandpa Keith is here. I am supposed to warn you that you are unprotected. The angels are angry that you are ignoring me.
You're such a bitch.
I told him to go back, but he says he isn't allowed to. I'm honestly not trying to manipulate you to respond. I understand that you need your space, but they say you have cut me off and the protection I built around your house is gone. I love you and don't want you getting attacked. They said that if you...
So manipulative. It doesn't even matter. It's manipulation. It's manipulation.
You at least give me a thumbs up emoji, it will restore our connection enough to give some protection.
Oh, if you at least talk to me, because I'm just a desperate little hoe, and I need to make sure you're okay. I love you with all my cold heart. So just send me one of these, and you'll be restored. How stupid do you have to be to believe that? You know how the reason she probably sent it back is because she knew those demons were coming for her. She knew it.
Line 1299 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I love you. Line 1298 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Thank you, my love. I will get things restored.
So why did you include these particular communications that are reflected in slide 47 and 48 in the summary of your review?
I included them to demonstrate first the argument that had taken place regarding Lori Vallow coming to Rexburg to visit Chad Daybell, and secondly, to demonstrate
I'm trying not to curse as much as I do.
How Chad Daybell used religious concepts to manipulate others.
And throughout those text communications from around 11:30 in the morning on August 8th through around 10:02 on August 8th, I see multiple communications from Chad to Lori. Were there many communications from Lori back to him?
No, as is shown, she was...
Your protection has been restored because of raised 3 thumbs. Come on, bro. That's crazy. That literally is pure manipulation. The weird thing is she believed him. Like he actually did that for her.
Ignoring him up until the text at 9:53 p.m.
And so is line 13 his response to being ignored?
Line 1300?
Line 1300, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And what significance did Grandpa Keith have to you, if any, in context of that communication?
Who's Keith?
It's my understanding that Grandpa Keith is deceased, so it's Chad Daybell claiming that a deceased relative was visiting him to...
I'm going to have Jack move to strike. He's speculating.
Sustained.
Okay. So the phrase Grandpa Keith is here. Is that that communication was from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow?
Yes.
Okay. And then the rest of that, Chad indicates he's supposed to warn her that she's not protected.
Correct.
And in order to provide the protection, she's got to give him a thumbs up or some sort of sign.
Yes.
And does Lori Vallow do that?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else of significance in that particular set of text communications?
No.
Okay. Moving to some communication on August 9th, 2019. Do you see those reflected in slide 49?
I do.
Okay. Can you, what significance did this line of communication have in terms of your summary?
So there's this slide, and this text string continues into the subsequent slide. This is significant in that it is an occasion where we see Chad Daybell designating someone as a dark spirit and Lori Vallow disagreeing with Chad Daybell's designation and making her own designation as to that individual's status.
And does it show any pushback or disagreement from Chad on her own designation?
He subsequently agrees to her designation.
Okay. Could you please read into the record slide 49 and 50?
Line 1232 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Can you check Nathan Pacheco, see what level he is? Is he light? Line 1231 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Also,
she just said, please check for me. So Chad had all the power in the world to tell her anything he wanted to about it. Because she never just made the conclusion. She checked with him every time. That's the manipulation right there. It's going to a source and saying, do this, tell me. And that's what it is.
Mike Stroud. Mel G thinks he went dark, but I think he's light. Line 1229 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
Man, rest. Like, I can't believe you go to that length to try to prove that you're good.
We'll check those two. Line 1226 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Any guesses on Pacheco? Line 1225 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Just tell me. Line 1224 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. 4.1 dark.
And slide 50.
Line 1222 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Nope, I get 5.1 light. Part of our team. Line 1221 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. We'll go with your answer. Line 1220 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Why? What's wrong with your picker? Line 1219 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. What about Mike Stroud? Seriously. Line 1218 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. He's done a great infiltration job.
And so you indicated that this reflected an exchange on rating people. Why did you include this particular exchange?
Traditionally, Chad Daybell was the one who would designate people as he would give these light or dark scores. This is an occasion where Lori Vallow disagrees with his score and designates her own score.
Okay. And again, it appears that Chad Daybell specifically said, we'll go with your answer.
Correct.
Turning to the next set of
We're
communications
making it up anyway. This time you're right. You're a goddess.
from August 10th. Can you tell us why you included the communications that are reflected on slide 50?
Yes. So this is a fairly lengthy text string that encompasses this slide and the next 5 slides. I included these communications because they are critically important in providing clarity as it relates to what ultimately happened to Tylee and JJ.
Let's start with, could you read into the record slide 51?
He just went with
Line 1177. Please check JJ. I'm sorry. Line 1177 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Please check JJ. He just woke up saying crazy stuff and won't go back to sleep. He is talking to Blake. It's weird. Line 1175
No, it's not.
from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. JJ is still JJ. I am told his spirit recognizes Blake is evil and is unsettled by him. Line 1172 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Hi, my love. How is JJ now? Line 1171 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. He's better. He was just up talking nonsense for like 2 hours last night. I'm sure they were bugging him. Is he at 0 yet? I miss you.
Do you want to read the next one and circle back, or do you want to
Yes.
take a minute to talk about why you included this set?
Why don't we read the entire
Okay.
text string in its totality and then circle back?
So turning to slide 52, could you please read slide 52 into the record?
Line 1170 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, he's at 0. He probably was partly through the veil, talking to people both light and dark. Line 1169 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell.
Yeah,
Maybe he was talking to the real Blake. Line 1167 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, that was the real Blake.
And continuing on the conversation in line 53, slide 53.
Line 1165 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Do you think there is a perfectly orchestrated plan to take the children? And we just have to wait for it to be carried out. Line 1164 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I feel lost, like I should be doing something to help. Line 1161 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. There is a plan being orchestrated for the children. I was shown last night how it fit together, but it has been taken from my mind, of course.
Slide 54.
Line 1159 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. What should I be doing? Line 1158 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. You are doing everything right, my love. The Lord told me she is right on track. He said to just keep resolving the telestial issues so you are unencumbered and fully free. Line 1155
Oh my God.
from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. That actually feels good that JJ was talking to the real Blake, getting close. When I was sitting across from him eating bacon, I sensed he was barely attached to his body.
And slide 55.
Line 1125 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. You are so incredible. In many ways, your mission has barely begun. Line 1124 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. As long as it ends with you, it's all good. Line 1123 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, cheek to cheek, loin to loin. It isn't very far away, my love.
Shut the hell up, loin to loin. You idiot.
Line 1120 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I wish I could see
Why does
with
all
you.
this psychotic darkness turn him on? I'm not being crap. I'm being dead serious. Homie talks about unaliving or someone going out, and his first thought is, dung, frick this dude, man. What the hell?
and be cheek to cheek.
And so let's go back.
There's one more slide in the
Use
text.
the next one. Okay.
Line 1118 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
There's been no question asked.
Moving on to read line, slide 56. Could you read that in the record,
I'll let a
please?
ruling on my objection.
Well, the objection was there's no question, and so council just asked a new question, so it's resolved.
Line 1118 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I seriously cannot stop crying. I was allowed to feel my own emotions I will experience as you sing to them, and the love, admiration, and reverence I have for you are indescribable. Everything we do together is going to be spectacular. Line 1117 from
You are so overwhelmed by his sweetness and love and his singing and all this stuff. You two floating fairies, dude.
Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell.
You are like literally so deep in your own fantasy. You might as well be fictional characters. You guys are crazy with this. It's just so fantasy. It's literally like a fairy floating around, granting wishes, just totally out of this world. Like, this is out of this world. I'd never understand this.
Can't wait. Literally can't wait. I have no patience. I want you now. Line 1113 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I'm certainly your biggest fan. I love you, Lily. Hold on, my sweet angel. We are so close.
If I ever talk to her again, I'm not saying it's going to happen, I'm going to repeat this to her. If I interviewed her, I'd sit down and go, all right, Lily, let's get started. How are you feeling? I know you've been going through a lot of emotions. I know Raphael has done some serious work on you, and I know he's fighting. And when's your exoneration again? I hope you guys really, really get back. When's your Dancing with the Stars moment? Oh, let's see if you bleed, by the way. Boom!
To the finish line. Line 1112 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I'm trying. Line 1111 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. We'll make it.
And then there are some heart emojis at the end of that one and dancing people emojis.
Yes.
And so taking a step back at these text communications on August 10th, 2019, starting with slide 51. Who is it who initiates the conversation in text form about JJ Vallow?
Lori Vallow.
And what significance did this set of communications have in terms of your review and summary of the iClouds?
You're going to object. I think these texts speak for themselves.
Also saying no objection.
Thank you.
Agent, in preparing summary exhibits, how do you pick the particular slides or communications you include?
Based on their relevance in comparison.
I just want to say again, like, this is the context, and that's the point. That's what we're talking about. So, like, dude, it like gets him going. Like, I'm telling you, this guy's like psychopath. Because every time they talk, it's just so much about that while you're discussing all this other stuff. He needs her so bad. It's like, it's such a D writer thing. Like, bro, I know you might not like I know you have like his fantasy brain, but like, bro, get off. Like, stop riding. This dude is like begging to be with her. It's just gross. It's disgusting. And it's what's worse is that it always comes at the end of a conversation about doing something unbelievable. Like, it comes at the end of the darkest thing you could possibly ever consider to do or talk about, and he always does it right after.
With the entirety of the investigation and all of the information that has been developed during the course of that investigation.
I'm going to object to his characterization of relevance. I think that's a legal conclusion.
Overruled.
Thank you. And so in picking these sets of text communication from the iCloud, what relevance did these have to the investigation itself?
They were inquiries by Lori Vallow regarding JJ's death percentage and Chad Daybell's response to those inquiries.
And so in the defendant and her co-conspirators' words, what was JJ's death percentage?
He was at 0.
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled.
And in terms of, now that, the text message reflected that JJ was at 0.
Because he was the one that deemed people darker light. So why would he do that to his children who take his side? Again, I'm not trying to bring them up. I'm just saying there would be no reason for them to do that.
What did the text text from Lori Vallow reflect? Her response was upon her hearing her son was at 0.
Again, Judge asked and answered.
That's been asked and answered.
Who initiated the inquiry about a perfectly orchestrated plan to take the children?
Lori Vallow.
Who initiated the question on whether they have to wait for it to be carried out?
Lori Vallow.
Who initiated the conversation about what actions they could take to further the plan?
Again, Judge, I'm going to object. Text speak for themselves.
Overruled.
Lori Vallow.
Who initiated communications about further actions they could do to further plans on telestial issues?
Lori Vallow.
And remind us again, what is telestial issues?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
And so telestial means earthly issues?
Objection asked and answered.
Yes, leading and sustained.
And so what in view and context of the entire iCloud that you reviewed, the defendant's own words and her statements to the co-conspirators, what did the defendant's words or the co-conspirators' words about unencumbered and fully free mean?
It is a reference to whatever issues are present in Lori Vallow's life that are.
I'm going to object. He's speculating.
I'll sustain that.
Did you see conversation from the defendant in her own words with Chad Daybell or Alex Cox or others about having burdens in their life or barriers or obstacles?
Objection vague.
Overruled.
Yes.
Okay. And so in understanding that the defendant herself and her co-conspirators talked about having.
So they would have been together in October, right after Tammy. And I hate to say that because it's just hard to say it about anybody, but that's what they did. So they took everybody out together, and then they were probably together a few times. There's a something that came out that Lori went over there right after Tammy and brought cookies to the family. And then after that, they were together they got married in November. So you're talking about a couple weeks after. They got married in November, and then they were together until March. And Chad didn't go to jail till June. So I think it was March, Brandon, but I could be wrong. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah, she was there for a few months or weeks or whatever in Kauai. And then she got taken over, got extradited. So you're probably right. And then he was still at her court case. That's when I stared the dude down, because I didn't even need to know much other than I know this dude is ridiculous. I didn't even know what it was. I just knew it. And then he got arrested on June 9th. So they really didn't have very long to be together. And we already heard the amount of money they were spending while they were together, like an insane amount.
Burdens and barriers or obstacles in context of their own words. What did the phrase unencumbered and fully free mean?
To be free from those barriers or obstacles.
And looking at the text communications on slide 55, is this a reference to their future together?
Correct.
Now, if you could take a look at slide 57. Can you tell us why you included the contents of slide 57 in your summary?
To illustrate the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
Can you, and this text communication happened right at the end or around the time of the text communications about JJ being at 0?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read into the record slide 57, please?
There was a website made for her, like Free Lori, all that kind of stuff.
Line 61, it's a photograph sent from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell with the caption, "Surprises are waiting."
And then there's an image on that screen as well.
Correct.
Okay. Now, let's turn to the text communication reflected on slide 58. Why did you include these communications in your summary?
I included these communications because it demonstrates an understanding on behalf of Lori Vallow that the reality of whether Chad Daybell is physically present with her or not physically present with her.
Could you read into the record the text communications on slide 58?
Line 965 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Very good description of what just happened. Wish you were really here.
Nobody deserved this. This was all narcissistic, satanic, selfish, every word you could possibly think of that's wrong. That's what this was.
To experience this with me. Line 954 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Thank you for being mine. Wish I could wake up and kiss your sweet, tender lips for real. You are my everything.
Yeah.
And so when you see the phrase for real or really here, what significance?
Man, get off the tip, brother. Man, you are such a freaking. You are so soft. I wish I could touch your tender lips. Shut up. Man, it's not that big of a deal.
Did that have in terms of their overall communications and exchanges?
There were a lot of communications between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow in reference to portaling to different spheres of existence or different places so that they could be together spiritually. These two texts indicate an understanding of reality versus fantasy.
Turning to the text communications reflected in slide 59. Why did you include these text communications?
These text communications reference a family trip that Chad Daybell was taking with his wife and children and relatives, and that Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell were both upset by the fact that he had to spend time with his family.
Oh, what a travesty that is. What a horrible tragedy. You had to spend time with your family, Harry Potter. You're locked on going to a trip with your wife and your kids. What a horrid thing to have to do.
Can you read these into the record, please?
Yes. Line 860 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I will join you. Partly why I am so sad is my Boise trip has turned into a trip with extended family. Not happy about it. Line 859 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. How much more of this can you take? Line 858 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. They want to go to Craters of the Moon National Park. I can't take much more. So trapped. Line 857 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Are we supposed to wait forever?
And if you could read slide 60.
Line
She
850
really wanted to be with him this bad? How long can you handle having your own family, children, and a wife? How long can you live in this hell? Man, you a freaking, oh my gosh, the words I would say.
6 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. No, but the next 2 days will be torture. Thankfully, I will be alone most of Wednesday and beyond. Line 854 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Is that what he wants? For me to sit around waiting for you endlessly and you miserably wasting time just doesn't feel right. Line 8.
I'm actually in shock with the desperation to be together. You don't have to be together. You don't have to do anything other than it's called a divorce. Or just leave. You have that option. You know that you're an adult, right? You don't have to be there. You're not trapped. You have a decision. You'd rather unalive your spouses than just get divorced and move on. Ditch everybody, right? Literally, if you want to say F the world, cool. Take your two sorry asses and go wherever you want. Nobody forced you to be here. It's called free will.
853 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I agree. It feels so drawn out. Line 850 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. It's 3 broken heart emojis.
And let's proceed with slide 61. Those.
Line 844 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I'm just so frustrated. I'm sorry, honey. Line 843 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. You can't just keep tearing my heart out. I really can't take it anymore. I'm sorry. Line 842 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. It is tearing both of our hearts out. Please look beyond the next 2 days. Line 841 from Lori Vallow.
I apologize.
To Chad Daybell. What about the past 2 days? I didn't even get to talk to you on your birthday. I'm clearly not a priority. I just don't want to be so sad all the time and do heartbroken.
And 62.
Line 840 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. If you really loved me, you wouldn't want that either. Line 839 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I could have talked, but the girls were there. I truly love you with all my heart. Line 836 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. You should give all of your love. You should give all of you love and your attention to your wife and family. I'm just a distraction. Go have fun with your family. I really do want you to. I just can't be in the way anymore. If things change, then we can talk. But we have nothing until things change anyway.
Do you want to pause here or finish the
This
text?
is crazy work. Yes, damn right you're in the way. Both of you. What? He's been married since long before he's known you. And you come in the picture and your heart's torn apart. Shut up. You two deserve each other. You two are morons.
Exchange.
I believe there's just 1 or 2 more slides.
Could you
Why
read
not
slides?
just leave each other? I know it's about the money, But why not just leave and go do your sticky notes and your freaking wild stuff on your own in another place? Get the frick out of here. You know? Gosh dang.
63, please.
Line 833 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Oh, honey, that is so crushing. I feel so destroyed inside. You know my love for you is deep and real. I want change. I'm constantly begging for change. I want you. Nothing else matters. But I am hindering your life, and you deserve better. I love you so intensely. Line 832 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. But I will leave you alone, as excruciating as that will be, until I hear from you. Line 831 from Lori Vallow to Chad.
Send me a thumbs up if you still love me. Shut up, you desperate, stupid.
Daybell. You can't say to me nothing else matters, because everything is before me. If that's what the Lord wants, then I just need to do something X so I can pull myself out of this deep despair. It's not like me to be this way. It's been way too much for way too long. Line 830 from Lori Vallow
You
to Chad.
two are desperate housewives, bro. You two are soft like putty. You two are as dumb as it comes. Dumb as it comes.
Daybell. The pain is unbearable.
One more. And if you could read guide 64.
Line 829 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. You are right. Put me aside until things change. Yes, the pain is unbearable. Line 828 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Are you going to threaten me that I'm unprotected for doing so? Line 827 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Absolutely not. I'm so upset at the circumstances that I am demanding they protect you more than ever.
So she knew, this is after, she knew that he threatened her with protection.
Line 831 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. You can't say to me nothing else matters because everything, I'm sorry, that's a repeat.
Okay.
That's an error. I apologize.
No, that's all right. And then,
I think there's one final slide.
okay. The slide, if you could read slide 65.
Line 825 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I'm so alone without you. It is devastating. Line 824 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I feel so alone too. We are surrounded by celestial relatives that are simply obstacles. I'm so sick of it. Line 823 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Me too. What is it that you really want? Line 824 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I want to be with you. That is my greatest hope and dream. I would happily join you tomorrow if it felt like heaven would not strike us down.
That was a fairly lengthy set.
You're worried about heaven striking you down for this? You two wouldn't know God if he stood in front of you. That is how unfamiliar you are with him. You are nerds. You could tell. So let me just break down what I saw. She's baiting him by emotionally manipulating him. He is also manipulating her by also sobbing. Then they both just jump on top of each other and overstate this unbearable pain and then how much they love each other while also secretly dissing each other. She's acting like she's going to do the right thing here and give up because she's an obstacle. He's so miserable in his life with his entire family. He tells you straight up that his greatest desire is her. He said, F my kids, F my wife, F all these celestial beings. I'm trying to be with the goddess, right? That's exactly how this is going. So both of them are together at the same time, manipulating, controlling, baiting. I mean, you can see it right in front of you. They're both manipulating each other at the same time. It's a shit show over here.
Of text communications. Why did you include this conversation in the summary?
I included it to demonstrate the dynamic of the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow and the designation of their family, their relatives, as celestial obstacles.
And celestial obstacles to what?
To them being together.
And then you said the dynamic of that relationship. Can you help us understand what you meant by that?
It's not even
Charles Vallow was
Yeah,
no,
objective foundation.
overruled.
Sustained.
Damn it.
In your previous answer, you used the words that I did it to demonstrate the dynamic of their relationship. In your review of the hundreds of thousands of data points of this account, did you see exchanges between Lori Vallow and her co-conspirators?
yes,
Okay. And in those communications and pictures and images, did an appearance of a relationship or dynamics of her relationship with Chad Daybell become apparent?
yes.
Okay. So when you said you included this text exchange conversation as an example of the dynamic of their relationship, can you explain to us what you meant by that?
What I meant by that is that their relationship is the driving force behind the crimes that are alleged in this case.
And that the celestial relatives, the earthly relatives, are the obstacles.
Correct.
Now, let's turn to additional communication on September 3rd. Remind us again, what date was it that Tyler Ryan was last seen alive?
The last sighting of Tyler Ryan alive took place on September 8th of 2019.
Turning to communication from September 3rd of 2019, could you read slide 66 into the record, please?
Line 269 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Wi-Fi is in. What you doing? Line 267 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Working on Z's. What did you decide on username and password? Line 264 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Network name is anti-layman. PW is too many kids.
And
Are you shitting me right now? Anti-layman and too many kids. He doesn't have kids. Are we, is that real life? I don't even know what to say to that. I would be standing there for Alex's supposed resurrection 2 days later with two fists. Him, all of them, one time. Bring them out. That's what they need. They need it.
that's a number 2, not
Number
the
2.
Yeah.
Line 263 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Funny.
Let's finish and review that next slide. Could you read slide 67 into the record, please?
Line 262 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. And I can change it to whatever you want if you want to change it. I am proud of you. No more Z's. Line 261.
So proud of you, sister. So proud of you. You're amazing. You're doing God's work.
Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. We are trying to get to the bottom of what we need to do to eliminate them completely. I'm sure you will be told also. Line 260 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Excellent.
If you don't mind pausing right here and looking at this conversation, could you explain to us why you included this part of the conversation between Alex Cox and Lori Vallow in your summary?
Yes, Alex Cox and Lori Vallow both moved to Rexburg, Idaho around September 1st and 2nd of 2019. I included this text mainly for line 264, which is the password Alex Cox designated for their network of too many kids.
And that's a text, Alex Cox to Lori Vallow, correct?
Yes.
Did Alex Cox have any children living with him?
Yeah. If you, I don't know, I'm not trying to say this in a rude way. If you're asking if Alex had involvement in all of this situation, yeah, Alex unalived everybody with his hands.
Rexburg, Idaho?
No.
Of the 2 siblings, who had the children living in Rexburg, Idaho?
Lori Vallow.
I also see network name is anti-layman. In context of your review of all these records, did that the records you reviewed and the investigation and your knowledge of this investigation yield you understand what anti-layman was a reference to?
Yes.
What is that?
Layman is another individual referenced in the Book of Mormon. He is a brother of Nephi, so it's simply just a word chosen for their password.
And
Network name, excuse me.
that's okay. And isn't layman known as a good guy or a bad guy?
A bad guy.
I also see the letter Z, and I understand that's been used throughout the iCloud. What is that a reference to?
Zombies.
And I also see line 261. There's a conversation where Lori is talking to Alex. What, if any, significance did line 261 have to you?
The significance of that is the
Appreciate you, Cindy.
partnership with Chad Daybell that Lori Vallow had in this alleged work in which they were engaged in eliminating zombies.
And yet it's a text communication to Alex Cox. So why would that be relevant if it wasn't with Chad?
There are a number of communications between Alex Cox and Lori Vallow that relate to the religious concepts that are discussed throughout the iCloud.
And the text, it says we are trying to get to the bottom of what we need to do to eliminate them completely. I'm sure you will be told also. And it was Alex who responded to.
You know, it's the first time I say this a lot when we talk about this, but it's the first time I've ever chosen to listen to it on my own. I didn't have to do it, or, you know, I made my own decision there, but it doesn't change how crazy this stuff is, bro. Like it's so much deeper than I thought it was. And I just didn't expect it to be so planned, so much hate towards the kids, so much hate carrying around. And, you know, like Lori was 100% in on this. This isn't what I thought it was. I guess a part of you just protects your own brain and says, yeah, it can't be that bad. It's that bad. It's worse than bad. And she was so involved.
Lori saying excellent.
Yes.
Moving to additional conversation on September 3rd, 2019. Can you read for us the contents of slide 68?
Line 259 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. I'm going to get lunch and probably go to the range to sight in my rifles. Line 258 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Fun. You need the practice. Line 257 from Alex
Are you
Cox.
shitting me, bro? You need the practice. Damn.
Lori Vallow. I do. Line 253 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Bad news on our brother. Line 252 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. What's that? Line 251 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Z. Line 250 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Really? When was that?
And may I ask you to read slide 69, please?
Line 232 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Forced out, I think. Line 231 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. With his anxiety, he wasn't strong enough to fight back. Line 230 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Line 229 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. JJ is stronger, fights then off every day. Line 228 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Zach was a 3L. JJ is a 4,3L.
And slide 70.
Ooh.
Line 227 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. That's when he yells, no. Line 222 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. Okay. Line 221 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow. My lips are sealed. Line 220 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. Good boy. Learning more. I'll fill you in this afternoon.
Good boy? What the hell? Who tells their brother good boy? What are you, a dog? That's to let you know that he was a D writer too. I don't even care who it is. This is a Jezebel. You ever read that? This is a straight Jezebel, just controlling all of it.
Why did you include these last several slides in your summary of your observations of the iCloud?
I included them to demonstrate that Alex Cox was a participant and in this group in discussing these religious concepts, including designating people as zombies, and that he understood those things in these communications.
And who is it who conveys this information to Alex Cox in this text exchange?
His sister, Lori Vallow.
Okay. Is that an indicative pattern you found in the iCloud that Lori Vallow would convey information to her brother Alex Cox?
Yes.
Did you see any additional evidence that Lori would sort of supply Alex affirmation like we see on line 220, good boy?
Yes.
Was that a pattern you saw in the iCloud?
It was. We saw those kinds of I saw those kinds of communications on a number of occasions.
Okay.
What the hell?
And in any of those communications between Lori and Alex, did you ever see Lori?
If I get called good boy, I would feel so disrespected. Good boy. What am I? What the hell?
Suggesting to Alex that people weren't zombies?
Can you rephrase that?
Sure. In the text communications between Alex Cox and Lori Vallow, did you ever see communications where the concept of certain dark entities or zombies came up, where Lori was sort of pulling Alex back or telling him, no, they're not zombies?
No.
Now let's turn to slide 71. What are we seeing here?
This is from the videos section of Lori for Style. There was a number of very short videos that existed. This is just one of those that documents a trip that Lori Vallow, Alex Cox, Tylee Ryan, and JJ Vallow took to Yellowstone National Park on September 8th of 2019. And this is the last known video of Tylee Ryan alive.
Why did you include this? Because it was the last one, Tylee, where Tylee was alive?
Yes.
And the image on the screen is her, JJ, and Alex Cox.
Correct.
Your Honor, I can certainly, at what point does the court want to take a lunch break?
Just anytime between now and noon is fine.
This might be a good place to stop, Judge.
Man, to be there with your uncle and have taken pictures and videos, and then they just come in and do that to her, man. That's one of the most heart-wrenching parts of it all to me, is the betrayal. Your mom, your uncle just betray you. Colby, your strength and wisdom throughout all this is incredible. We're all here supporting you through your journey. So proud of you. Thank you so much, Tess. I don't understand it, man. I don't care what you go through as a person, like to end up doing this stuff to your own family is beyond comprehension. To do it to anybody, but to do it to your own niece and nephew and your brother-in-law.
We can do that. Agent, I'll remind the witness you're still under testimony for your oath. I'm sorry, you're still under oath for your testimony today. And with that in mind, Ms. Smith, if you'd like to continue with your direct, you may.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Let's turn to some
Oh,
chat or
man,
information
funny.
that you included in your summary with between Lori Vallow and Sydney Woodbury. Can you take a look at slide 72? And I believe this part of the chat goes through slide 73.
Correct.
Okay. Why did you include this particular chat session in the summary you prepared?
I included this because of two reasons. First, it shows efforts that were made to hire a caregiver for JJ by Lori Vallow in mid-September. And then in terms of the timing of the last known video that exists of JJ Vallow, that video coincides with the latter half of this particular chat.
Now, I noticed at the top of exhibit 70, slide 72, it says there are 26 total messages. Did you put all 26 in the slides?
No.
Okay, why not?
Due to
Literally the worst.
the need to convey what's being talked about without overburdening this process with every single message.
Okay. And so just so we're clear, the idea of a summary is to take the highlights, put it in, but the original is still available.
Correct.
Okay. So could you do us a favor and read slide 72 and 73 into the record, please?
Yes, this is chat number 6 from Sydney Woodbury to Lori Vallow on September 18th, 2019. Hi, Lori, this is Sydney Woodbury from care.com. I just received your message and think your little boy sounds so sweet. I actually have worked with kids in the past with autism at a behavior science company and used positive behavior therapy to help them. I love playing with kids and doing fun things. What are the hours you are thinking of, as well as hourly rate? I am currently attending school, so I hope I can help out with the hours you're needing. Response from Lori Vallow to Sydney Woodbury. That's so great. I'm thinking $15 an hour. I'm flexible with time. He gets out of school at 2:30 every day, so a few hours a week after school. We could work around your schedule. As
She has, I'm learning to catch myself, man. She has nothing to do. When I tell you nothing to do, she has nothing to do on the planet Earth other than go BS around with the hot dog man and literally pray death on humans and plot murders and everything, bro. We're not talking about somebody who has a job or is busy or has things to do or is really taking care of her kids. You know, she always had maids and you know, babysitters. Like she was like doing nothing, bro. Just wanted free time. Oh, he gets out at 2:00. I've had all effing day besides dropping him off at school. But when he gets home, I want you to come through and babysit him so I can do nothing again and go BS with chat. Come on, bro. You have nothing to do. Why do you need a babysitter?
Bars days of the week, and then some time on Saturdays. Again, from Lori Vallow. We live on Pioneer Road, only a few minutes from campus. Do you want to come meet us?
And if you could complete the chat that's reflected on slide 73.
Yes. From Sydney Woodbury to Lori Vallow. Yes, I'd love to. Again, from Sydney Woodbury. Am I good to come over? From Lori Vallow to Sydney Woodbury. Sure, we are here. From Lori Vallow to Sydney Woodbury. Picking up JJ now. Excited to see you today. From Sydney Woodbury to Lori Vallow. Okay, I'm heading over now.
Yes.
And so there was I understand you said the significance of this was an effort to hire somebody to assist with JJ. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay. What was the last known sighting again, just for a reference, of Tylee Ryan alive?
September 8th, 2019.
Based on your review of the communications from Lori Vallow with others and that information in context, prior to September 8th of 2019, was Tylee a resource in helping care for JJ?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What sort of communications did you have that support that conclusion that Tylee helped care for her brother?
There were lots of texts.
Maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed the timeline of when the babysitters called. But that's the point. I think the second that they unalived Tylee, they had nobody to watch him, because that's her damn job, is to take care of her children, right? But because she did that to Tylee, she didn't have anybody else to do it for her, so she got upset and said, I'll pay for JJ's nanny with Tylee and JJ's money because I have shit to do. You had nothing to do all day, and you'd rather hire someone to come take care of him when he's lost everything in the world. That must have been the loneliest feeling in the world. You never see your dad again. Your sister disappears, and your mom checks out of life more than ever and literally wants to hurt you and wants to send pain on you. Like some freaking Twilight stuff. Like, you know that girl who freaking like throws pain at people, says pain, and they like crumble? That's what she wanted to do.
Throughout the review of the iCloud related to Tylee helping to take care of
but we
JJ.
grew up with that. I just don't understand the laziness, bro. There's nothing wrong with having like help. There's nothing wrong with having a maid per se. But when you have nothing else on the planet Earth to do and you avoid your children, especially your 7-year-old autistic son, just so you can go play, is crazy alone by itself. That alone would be a lot if everything else didn't happen.
Vallow had errands to run or needed to be absent from the home for some reason or another.
She had no reason. Zero.
Prior to Tylee's disappearance, had Lori had any other support or infrastructure in caring for JJ?
Yes, while they lived in Phoenix, there was a woman named Angela who worked for a company that Lori Vallow had a contract with to have a certain number of hours each week of care provided for JJ.
There were so many people that watched JJ. Me, so many times. Tylee, so many times. Kelsey, when we were first dating, they just wanted him gone. They just wanted him like to be busy, not to deal with him. They drugged him up with his pills. I don't know if he needed them, but he acted like a different person on them because he just got like zooped down. After he was allowed to have any 7-Up he wanted, go into the fridge, get anything he wanted to eat, and be able to go pop as many popsicles as he wants. And I think she even said, I just let him do whatever or else there's a huge fit. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you allowed him to do whatever he wanted as a kid who doesn't know the word stop or no. That's too many 7-Ups. That's too much sugar. That's too many popsicles. That's too many, cakes. Come on, bro. He was allowed to do whatever he wanted because she didn't want to deal with him screaming. And so that's not taking care of your child.
Whether prior to Charles Vallow's death, did he have any role in helping care for JJ?
Of course, he cared for JJ frequently as well.
Okay. And so after September 8th and the move to Rexburg, what infrastructure of support could you find for Lori Vallow to help her care for JJ?
This was the only reference I found.
Okay. And so based on your review of the iCloud record and videos and chats and all the records you told us you looked at, was JJ an easy child to care for and raise?
Not at all. He had severe autism, and so he was a challenging young child.
So by September 18th, who was the primary, almost sole caregiver for JJ Vallow?
Lori Vallow.
Is there any other reason why you included this chat session with Sydney Woodbury in the iCloud summary you prepared?
Just in context with the back half of this chat.
Okay. And when you say back half of this chat, are we talking slide 73?
No.
Okay.
Slide 75 and 6.
Okay. Well, let's go to slide 74. What are we looking at here?
This is from the video section of Lori for Style at iCloud.com, and this is just a very brief video, but it is the last known video of JJ Vallow while he was alive, and it was taken on September 22nd of 2019.
Prior to September 22nd of 2019, were there other videos of JJ Vallow?
Lots of them.
Okay. After September 22nd of 2019, in any of Lori's electronic data, did you find any videos or pictures of JJ Vallow?
No.
And so when you say the back half of this communication, are we talking about what's reflected on slide 75?
Yes.
Can you read slide 75 into the record, please?
Yes. Continuation of chat number 6 from Sydney Woodbury to Lori Vallow on September 24th, 2019.
Yeah.
Hi, Lolo. Are we still good for me coming today? from Lori Vallow to Sydney Woodbury. Hi, Sydney. I hope the wedding was good. So JJ's grandparents came this weekend and they took him for a few weeks to give me a break. So he won't be back until probably the end of October.
Oh my gosh. This woman has second nature lying.
I wish I had other work for you to do. You are such a darling girl. I understand if you need to get another job. From Lori Vallow to Sydney Woodbury. Of course. I'm not sure when he'll be back, but I'm going to do some traveling while he's gone, probably to see my friends in Hawaii, but I'll let you know for sure when we are both back in Rexburg. You are great.
Now, did this text communication proceed after that date,
There were some additional messages, yes,
but not on September 24th?
correct.
Now, the weekend of September 21st, 22nd, and the morning of the 23rd, had Lori had visitors?
Yes,
Who were those visitors?
Melanie Gibb and David Warwick.
And did you find any evidence whatsoever that JJ's grandparents had been in Rexburg September 21st, 22nd, or 23rd?
No.
Let's turn to slide 76. Why did you include this SMS section from Lori for Style in your summary?
This is a significant text string between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell that talks very specifically about Tammy Daybell's pending death.
Okay. Could you read for us? Could you read for us slide 76 and 77 into the record?
Yes.
Thank you.
Line 810 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Good night, Angel Lily. So excited to go on our date. Line 782 from Lori Vallow to Alex Cox. We are supposed to go on a real date tonight, but we are discussing it. Perhaps an evening at home would be better, so we are not out and about. I'll let you know, but you could come and sing with us after your shower. Line 7.
What the hell is with these people in their showers? Damn. Why are y'all showering all the time? Why does every text include damn showers? And they're going to sing as a group? Oh, hell no. You're just going to come sing praises of Satan that you all do? What is wrong with you?
73 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Hello, sweet angel. Big news about Tammy. Please let me know if you are awake and can talk. I love you.
And what's on 77?
Line 772 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. The short version is that she has been switched. Tammy is in limbo, and a level 3 demonic entity named Viola is in her body. It happened about 10 p.m. and was done by Tammy's sister Sam, who I always knew was 3D, but it turns out she is multiple creation. Line 771 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Viola has been attached for about a year to my niece.
Who says this about their wife? Like who can even stomach this?
Danica, who is Sam's 12-year-old daughter. I have connected with Tammy in limbo, and she is very frustrated and upset. She wants Viola removed as soon as possible. Viola seems to be similar to Penelope. The personality differences from Tammy should be evident quickly. Please seek a confirmation on this, but I have now checked 3 times since I got home and get more affirmative answers each time.
What are you checking with? What system do you check with?
And if we may, could we proceed to read slide 78 as well?
Yes. Line 770 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Sam is much like Brandon. She has been my biggest enemy over the years. She refuses to read my books and threw the biggest fit when we moved to Idaho.
You are such an idiot. She refused to read your unholy book and got mad that you took her family away from her? Pretty normal. Your books were shit.
She has only visited us when the kids got married and always fled Idaho within hours, like she was being burned. She's definitely comparable to Brandon and Summer. Line 769 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
He was talking crap about Summer?
Not fully sure of the timing for removal, but once her actions verify the differences, I don't want to wait.
If I may ask a couple of questions about that text communication. Are you aware of the date that Brandon Boudreaux was shot at?
I am.
What date was Brandon Boudreaux shot at?
October 2nd of 2019.
Are you aware of the date that Tammy Daybell was shot at by someone in her driveway?
I am.
What date was she shot at?
October 9th of 2019.
Now, and so at this point of this text communication in the late evening hours of October 3rd to the early morning hours or the daytime hours of October 5th, was Tammy Daybell still alive?
Yes.
Okay. So can you help us understand what a real date means in context of the timeline and the text exchange you've read to us?
Yes. Lori Vallow and her children moved to Rexburg the first part of September of 2019. Based on the investigation, both children were killed in September of 2019. Now, in the early part of October, there's a reference to going on a real date out in public. Rexburg is a small town.
I'll tell you this. That's like the fact that it was so quick. Tylee didn't have a chance. Even JJ didn't have a chance. It's just damn, bro. Just heavy, man. Just so heavy.
And so that is problematic for Chad Daybell still being married to Tammy Daybell.
Okay. And so by this date, Lori Vallow is unencumbered and fully free,
Correct.
but Chad Daybell is not.
Correct.
And so was there any information that would suggest that Lori wanted to go on a real date?
That's what she stated to Alex Cox on October 4th.
Okay. And so was there any significance to you in context of the
When
icon?
we were in Rexburg, everyone knows each other. It is this very small town. It'd be hard to go somewhere especially if you'd been there for a long time and nobody notices you. I swear there was a video or somebody caught Lori and Chad at Applebee's one time, right? I think there was and they like listened to their conversation. I don't remember.
Out in the review where he talks about big news to Tammy about Tammy. Please let me know if you're awake and can talk.
Yes, within 12 hours of the text regarding going on a real date, Chad Daybell now has big news about Tammy, and that news was that she's in limbo because her body's been inhibited by a level
convenient
3
timing that
demonic
is.
entity named Viola.
Turning to some of the texts that are on slide 77, just so I'm clear, the text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow is asking her to seek confirmation.
Correct.
And so Chad is seeking Lori's opinion.
Correct.
And turning to the text on slide 78, who is it who is discussing timing for removal?
That's a text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow.
And was there any indication that at this point Lori Vallow protested, said anything in any way in opposition to a timing for removal and not wanting to wait?
No.
Before we move to the next text, is there anything else on that text communication between the two about the entity inside of Tammy and not wanting to wait that you wish to review?
No.
Turning to a text communication with Lori Vallow and Melanie Boudreau reflected on slide 79 and 80. Why did you include these two slides?
I included these slides because they contain travel information for Lori Vallow and show that she was traveling out of state during the first attempt on Tammy's life, which took place on October 9th of 2019.
So the previous text with Chad about not wanting to wait were on or about October 5th, correct?
October 4th and October 5th.
Okay. And then the first attempt on Tammy's life with the shooter in the driveway was October 9th.
Correct.
October 7th, is that some of the text communications we see in slide 79 and slide 80?
Yes.
Could you please read those into the record?
Line 729 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. I'm really feeling like we need to go to Missouri and work. Maybe we can fly there on Thursday and back on Sat. Line 728 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. American has a nonstop flight, PHX, to Kansas City Thursday at 1 p.m., then fly back on Sat at 6:30 p.m. Audrey said we could stay with her, but I told her we could get a hotel and she could stay with us. She will take us to all the amazing sites.
And slide 80, please.
Now, remember, I told you guys this. I think in the LDS church lore, the LDS church believes that Zion is in Missouri. And that's what Joseph Smith believed when he went down there. They got ran out of Missouri.
Line 726 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. What about Brandon not being able to take the kids to it? Does Dad think I will need to be here? Line 725 from Melanie Boudreau to
Dad? We're calling Chad Dad?
Lori Vallow to Utah. Line 724 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. Nope, you need to be unavailable. That is the schedule. Line 723 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. Okay, Captain.
Can you help us
Damn,
understand
she
the
had
significance
people
of
on a leash. No, you can't be there. You need to be unavailable. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Captain.
this text messaging in context of your summary?
It simply illustrates that Lori Vallow made travel arrangements and was not present in Idaho during the first attempt on Tammy Daybell's life.
There's a reference on slide 80, line 723, from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. Okay, Captain. Do you see that?
I do.
Did you see any other evidence of Lori Vallow giving direction or instruction to Melanie Boudreau on what to do or how to do or when to do
Must
things?
have been all the time.
Yes, I saw that on a number of occasions.
Okay. Did you see that same sort of what to do, how to do it, sort of, okay, Captain, instructions given to other people within their group of friends?
The only other one would be to Alex Cox.
Now, turning to line 81, slide 81, I apologize. Can you tell us why you included this text exchange between Audrey Baratario and Lori Vallow?
Yes, this is a text string between Audrey Baratario and Lori Vallow, wherein Audrey Baratario makes an inquiry about Lori Vallow and C, Chad Daybell, working regarding Tammy Daybell.
Okay. Could you please read slide 81 in?
Line 669 from Audrey Baratario to Lori Vallow. How did yesterday go? Line 668 from Audrey Baratario to Lori Vallow, with you and C working. Line 667 from Lori Vallow to Audrey Baratario. Well, we did a lot of work today. We got her out, but a new one got in, so we are still working on it. Audrey, any ideas you have would be greatly appreciated. Line 666 from Audrey Baratario to Lori Vallow. Okay.
Now, I realize we haven't had you reading the different emojis that the jury can see, but do you see the emoji that's at the end of Audrey Baratario to Lori Vallow?
I do.
In your experience, what does the face with the two eyes X'd out emoji mean?
Any characterization of this, Judge?
That's without foundation sustained.
Have you had experience in looking up and reviewing various suspects' communications back and forth?
Yes,
Okay. Does that include review of what emojis are included in their text communications?
sometimes.
Okay. Do you have any experience in looking up the emoji with the face and the eyes X'd out?
Yes.
In your research and your review of this iCloud account, what did the face with the eyes X'd out signify?
Again, I'm going to object to mischaracterization. It's too speculative.
Overruled.
It can be associated with death.
Why did you include this text communication in your summary exhibit supplied?
Because of the inquiry regarding Tammy Daybell, particularly in light of the date of these communications, which is subsequent to the first attempt on Tammy Daybell's life.
Okay. And what day did Tammy Daybell, what day was Tammy Daybell killed?
October 19th of 2019.
So this text communication between Audrey and Lori was between the attempted shooting and the day she was killed.
Correct.
Is there anything else of significance you would like to review on slide 81?
No.
Turning to slide 82, why did you include this series of communications between Lori Vallow and Melanie Boudreau?
I included this for context purposes because it is a similar conversation relating to Brandon Boudreau with references for could he go, similar to what we've seen in other communications.
Could you please read into the record slides 82 and 83?
Yes. Line 663 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. Yeah, but until that agreement is signed by the judge, it is all subject to change. That's probably the reason for the delay. Line 662 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. Is there a possibility he could go before I move? Line 661 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. There's always that possibility. We will work on it. Just have faith and do whatever the Lord tells you. He is always right. Line 650.
Yep, no, that's God telling you to unalive Brandon, right? Your husband. Is that what we're talking about here? Trust God to do the devil's work? Pretty interesting.
55 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. I don't recall the words to get him out, but should we try?
And then turning to slide 83.
Line 654 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. I know them. I'll work on it now. Put all your energy in. Line 647 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. I've worked on them all day and evening. Line 646.
What a waste of your time.
Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. Me too. He's got to be ready to go. Line 645 from Melanie Boudreau to Lori Vallow. I know.
Is there anything else you want to review with the jury on why you included the text communication between Melanie Boudreau and Lori Vallow from October 14, 2019?
No.
Turning to text communication from October 19th, 2019, why did you include these SMS messages from Lori for style?
These are messages to Lori Vallow informing her of Tammy Daybell's death while Lori Vallow was traveling in Hawaii.
Okay. And so at this point, Lori Vallow was in Hawaii. Do you know who she was in Hawaii with?
She was there with Melanie Boudreau initially, and then Audrey Baratario flew over and joined them.
Who is Audrey? Is Audrey the one that testified in Charles's? That can't be right. The blonde girl from Charles's who said that she was whatever, that she thought it was wild. Is that Audrey? I don't know who Audrey is, to be honest with you. I don't understand that. And then they all went to freaking Hawaii together again for like the 4th time. Didn't they go like 4 times that year? Or maybe this is I don't know who I don't know who Audrey is. Okay. Sorry, I was just confused. I don't know the name. Oh yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I don't know who that is. I don't think I've ever heard this name.
Some days after Lori Vallow and Melanie Boudreau had arrived.
Okay. If you could please read into the record slide 84.
Line 541.
I'll have to see it then.
From unknown individual to Lori Vallow. I'm not sure if you heard, but Chad's wife died last night. Line 540 from Lori Vallow to unknown individual. Oh my gosh, I did not hear that. I'm in Hawaii and it's 6 a.m. Line 539.
Oh, you didn't know, right?
From Lori Vallow to unknown individual. Do you know what happened? Line 538 from unknown individual to Lori Vallow. Yes, she awoke in the night coughing, threw up, collapsed, and passed away.
Why did you include this series of text communications specifically from the morning of October 19th?
Due to its relevance in the death of Tammy Daybell.
Okay. Did you have reason to believe that Lori had learned other ways, in another manner, of Tammy Daybell's death?
There's nothing in the iCloud to indicate that.
Okay. Let's turn to text communication from October 19th with Chad Daybell. Can you please read slides 85 into the record?
Yes. Line 532 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Not fun without you. Can you call me? Line 531 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. How are you doing is the question. Line 530 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I'm hanging in there. My parents are staying here and we are still getting visitors, but I will call you soon.
Why did you include
How many condolences did he receive for unaliving his wife? How many people with honest, good hearts who care and feel horrible for him came to him and said, I'm so sorry. And he's sitting there, accept him. So he's, thank you. What a sick F.
these texts?
Subsequent to Tammy Daybell's death on October 19th, 2019, there's a flurry of text messages between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell that are insightful as to the nature of the relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow and their subsequent plans now that Tammy Daybell is dead.
Turning to slide 86, could you read that one into the record?
Yes. Line 528 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Percentage in body. Whole store 24. Ucola 11. Grisson 14.
Grisson?
Line 527 from Chad Daybell to
Grisson? What are we talking about? Like a croissant? What are we doing?
Lori Vallow. Great job on lowering them. I loved talking with you. It is baby night, so come get me later. Line 526
It's baby night.
from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Missing you so much. I can feel you in bed with me, though. Can't wait to truly hold you tightly every day and night. Line 525 from
Ugh.
Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I'm missing you more. I need you desperately. I can't wait.
So this
You're a freak and a half.
text communication happens around just after midnight on the 20th through around 7 in the morning on October 20th, 2019, correct?
Yes.
Less than 24 hours after Tammy Daybell dies.
Roughly 24 hours, yes.
Any other significance to this particular slide?
No.
Okay. Moving towards
Yeah, I don't know what
the
that
next series of
Baby, who's baby night? Who's got babies? None of them.
communication from on the 20th. Why did you include slide 87?
These are a continuation. This slide and probably the next two are a continuation of that text string between Chad Daybell.
Maybe that's just code for that.
From
Ugh.
Lori Vallow.
Could you please read in slide 87 and then we'll move to 88 and 89?
Line 524 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. Need you to hold me tight. That would be great. What about the idea of you coming here Thursday or Friday? Or do you want me to come home? Line 523 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Their apartment is haunted and we can't clear the place. So they are looking to move anyway. And I have the perfect place for them. I need to be here to get sorting the financial stuff. And I truly need your help. So please come home Thursday so we can spend the night together. Then, as soon as I have things under control, we can return.
Aren't
serious-
his kids like for real in the house still? Weren't they living there?
Seriously want you to look for a condo for us while you are there that we could return to at the first of the month.
And please read slide 88.
Line 518 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I want to get going full steam on the Lily workout plan. Tighten the abs, get a full body tan, grow my hair out. This could be really good for both of us. Line 517 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I love that plan. It's not soon enough though. This is torture Maybe you need to clear my mind so I can't remember how much I love you.
What? Homie's gonna get on the Lily workout plan. Dude, you could do push-ups for the rest of your life. I could slap you and you jiggle for 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? You're planning a condo. You don't give an F. None of you care. It's just every time it's so blatant like this, it's like clear my mind so he can go like this. I cleared it. You're gonna love me even more tomorrow. This is the stupidest crap I've ever heard in my life. Grow my hair out. Man, I swear to you.
Line 516 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I will try, but it feels like Raphael and Lily are together at about 100%. Not sure it will ever be lower again.
And if you could read slide 89.
Line 515 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. That's true. I do feel you.
I need to know what Doug thinks. I need to hear his thoughts. I have to understand how he even was able to listen to this.
I feel lovesick. I can't sleep. I don't want to eat. I just want you. It's so consuming. Line 514 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I know exactly how you feel. I'm feeling sad, but it isn't for the reason everyone thinks.
And
Oh my
I'm feeling sad, but
gosh.
it isn't for
I'm tricking everyone to think I'm sad about my wife. I'm just sad that I don't get to be with you. The manipulation, bro.
the reason everyone thinks was 8 in the morning on October 20th, 2019.
Correct.
In terms of those 3 slides in that text communication, is there anything else of significance you wish to cover?
No, I don't think so.
Turning to slide 90. Why did you include this text communication between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell?
This short text string between Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell is extremely important in that Lori Vallow expresses a concern to Chad Daybell regarding Alex Cox.
Can you please read into the record slide 90?
Line 482 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I had a bad dream about Al. Make sure he is still him and protect him. Line 481 from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. He would be the one they use to get to us both. All this alone time is not good for him. Line 479 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I will try to reach out to him later today. Line 471 from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. I just cleared all of Al's weapons, curses, and cords and filled him with malachite healing balm. I also put angels around him.
No,
And if you
you
could-
didn't do shit. You put a healing bomb, malachite heal. What is this? Dragon Ball Z? What are you on? Who? How could you pitch this to anybody on the planet Earth? Just got his cords, weapons, it cleared him. Now he's all protected and he's fine. And his angels, I bombed him. He's cool.
Read slide 91.
This is a slide from the notes section of Lori for Style, line 161. Alex Cox, multiple creation, 4th creation exalted 9 times, sibling to me 2 times on 4th creation. Rose is exalted, married 3 times on 4th creation, and became eternal companions after 4th creation. His mission is to help Lori.
So the exchange between Lori and Chad about Alex, why did you include that specifically?
I included it because of the reference to Al and him being the one they would use to get to both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
And the date of that exchange was October 23rd, 2019?
Yes.
Do you know the date that Alex Cox passed away?
Oh boy. December, I want to say December 12th, but I'm sorry, I can't recall that exact date.
That's okay. Early December, beginning of December.
December 2nd would be the next date that comes to my mind, but again, I can't recall clearly. I know it's December of 2019.
Fair enough. And so in October, there's a text communication about Al being the one that would get to them, correct?
That Al would be the one they use to get to us both.
Do you have any information about when did Alex Cox subsequently marry someone from this group?
Yes.
Who did he marry after this date?
Zulema Pastentes.
And then sometime towards the beginning or the first couple weeks of December, Alex Cox is dead.
Correct.
And then why did you include the notes section of Lori for Style on Alex Cox?
This contains some of the religious concepts that were pertinent to this investigation, but mainly for the last line that his mission is to help Lori.
Okay. Now, when you say it relates to the religious concepts and specifically about Alex Cox's job to help Lori, what was that based on in terms of your review of the iCloud?
During the review of the iCloud, there's voluminous information regarding the religious beliefs of Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow. And this is one note that contains references to some of those things.
Okay. And did you see through your review of the various iCloud accounts and emails and information in the iCloud accounts for Lori Vallow, any sort of definition of Alex Cox's role in this religious group of friends?
One of the main references was that his mission in life was to protect and to help his sister Lori.
And within the communications of the iCloud that you reviewed, the communications between Lori and Chad and Alex and others, did you find any evidence that Alex believed that his mission was to help and protect
Oh
Lori?
yeah, I did see that.
Yes.
Now, turning to slide 92. I see that it appears to be a text between Lori Vallow and Melanie Boudreau.
Correct.
Okay, could you please read slide 92 into the record?
Line 175 from Lori Vallow to Melanie Boudreau. Will you do this job if your whole family turns against you? That is what the Lord has asked of us. Our glories will be worth it, and they will all shrink in our presence. It will be a sad day for those who choose to oppose us.
Oh, be please. I ain't shrinking in front of you. You ain't no holy person. Nobody's going to shrink. You're going to shrink in front of God. You really want to sit there and say everyone who's opposed our power is going to shrink? You got to, that awakening will suck. You're going to have a hard day that day.
And we work for the Lord and are his valiant warriors. Be strong, my little one. We will be gone in a few.
Why did you include this particular text message to Melanie Boudreau in the iCloud summary?
Hey, don't make fun of my giant water, okay? I already think I showed you guys this. I got the lion on. I got Lion Ryan right there. Whoa, it's twisting this. I was twisting the wrong way. I got the lion on there, baby. You're about to see the gold chain. I don't know if I can handle listening to the rest of this, bro. This might be the worst one I've heard of all of them. All the texts, all the pre-plotting, all of the evil, all of the sexual rep. Ugh, my gosh. This is horrible. This is next level uncomfortable. Yes, we're doing that next. So I'm trying to get us through these last few ones that we're gonna do, and then just get over there as fast as possible. We're just gonna have to highlight the majority of it because it is really long. Like I said, though, there's a lot more. So I don't know if we'll be able to finish by next week, but
I included this because it is illustrative of Lori Vallow's beliefs and a statement that she made to Melanie Boudreau, who was part of this group.
And what particular statement?
The entirety of the text, I believe, is her statement.
Okay. Is there anything else of significance for that particular text?
No.
Okay. Now, in your review of the iCloud, did you also see videos in the iCloud?
Hundreds of them.
Okay. And I think you've told us you saw videos and emails and documents, hundreds and if not thousands of documents.
Yes.
Okay. Did you find any documentation of a patriarchal blessing given to Alex Cox by Chad Daybell?
Yes, that was found in the iCloud.
Okay. Your Honor, I'd ask that the witness be given State's Exhibit 50A, a courtesy copy of which has already been given the court.
All right. And is that, I think that's previously admitted?
That patriarchal blessing was the recording that was done, I believe, but 50 itself, 50A is the written copy from the iCloud. It should be admitted as part of 29, but we pulled that specific document out and gave it its own number, 50A.
All right. Would there be an objection to the admission of 50A that's being offered?
Yes, Your Honor, it's cumulative.
Response?
Your Honor, it is not cumulative. A recording was played for the jury. The written copy found in the iCloud has not been provided.
All right. I've considered Rule 403. Do not find it's needlessly cumulative, so it can be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. May the witness be shown it?
Yes.
Thank you. Just so that he can look at it. Thank you, sir. Okay. 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 Did you get a chance to look at it?
Yes.
That's a copy of the patriarchal blessing you found in the iCloud?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you review this document?
I have, yes.
Okay. Are you aware of what a patriarchal blessing is?
I am, yes.
What is a patriarchal blessing?
In the LDS faith, it's a blessing that faithful members receive at one point in their life to provide a spiritual guide for them.
And this has already been read into the record, so I'm not going to ask the witness to do that again. But who is allowed to give a patriarchal blessing within the LDS faith?
I don't object, Your Honor. I don't think he has the proper foundation to be able to say that.
If you know, do you know who's allowed to give a patriarchal blessing within the LDS Church?
I do.
Who is allowed?
Again, Judge, I don't think he has a proper foundation to discuss.
He needs to explain how that foundation is if he's going to testify to that fact.
How do you know who's allowed to give a patriarchal blessing within the LDS Church?
I am familiar with this process and who is called within the church to give these blessings.
And have you also researched and looked into some of those processes and procedures?
Yes.
So again, who's allowed to give a patriarchal blessing?
Again, Judge, I'm going to object. I don't think he has the credentials to talk about this.
Well, he just laid a foundation that's adequate for the court to consider, so I'll overrule the objection at this point.
Thank you.
Within each geographic stake in the LDS faith, there is one individual who is called to be a patriarch. That one individual is the person who administers these blessings.
And did you find any evidence in your review of the iCloud, in any of the evidence or any of the interviews or the temple records from the LDS Church that Chad Daybell was authorized by the LDS Church to give a patriarchal blessing?
No.
Okay. Now, that patriarchal blessing in States Exhibit 58A is a written patriarchal blessing from who?
It states from Patriarch Chad Daybell.
To whom?
Alexander Lamar Cox.
What, if any, significance did States Exhibits 50A have to you in context of your review of the iCloud and the evidence as a whole?
There were a couple of phrases that were used during this blessing as it relates to Alex Cox's mission to protect Lori Vallow, and a few other lines that indicated things that Alex Cox had done that I believed were pertinent to this investigation.
What lines are those?
In the third paragraph of the patriarchal blessing, about halfway down, it states, "Great warriors were needed in that creation. Powerful goddesses needed to be protected, and you were selected to help protect your sister. You helped her in numerous probations as a defender. You had a special bond with her even from the premortal world. You connected there, and as she grew in power, you were right there beside her, always with a humble heart."
Why was that significant to you?
Oh, Lulu.
Alex Cox
Welcome.
was part of this group. He was close to Chad Daybell and close to Lori Vallow. And Lori Vallow had made statements to Chad Daybell in text messages that Alex Cox would be the one they would use to get to both Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell.
Objection, Your Honor. I think that misstates what was actually written in the text.
I'll overrule that objection.
And so in context of the investigation, why did those things matter?
In the totality of the investigation, Alex Cox had a role in the events that took place.
And was there additional information in the next paragraph, paragraph 4?
Yes.
What information stood out to you?
In the last sentence, it states, "You have already assisted us in ways that can never be repaid, but you will continue to do so as you move forward in this life."
Why did that particular statement stick out to you in context of your review of the iCloud and all of the evidence?
It is a direct reference by Chad Daybell regarding Alexander Cox, stating that he has assisted them in ways that can, quote, never be repaid.
And in that document, there appear to be any evidence of forgiveness or dispensation of grace.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
That's in the 6th paragraph. There's a sentence which states, "Throughout adulthood, you have refined yourself, and I want you to know that the Savior is saying to you at this time, well done, thy soul is cleansed, and all is well."
How can you
Is there
believe
anything else about the patriarchal blessing that stuck out to you in terms of the investigation and its connection to the iCloud?
Just one more sentence in the next paragraph.
Which is?
It states, "You will be a powerful servant. I bless you with that knowledge that you will now move forward as a true warrior, not only through physical action, but through spiritual power that will be bestowed upon you."
And why did that stand out to you?
The reference to physical action.
Now, you've mentioned several texts about the relationship between Chad and Lori. Did that result in multiple efforts to follow up on that relationship and its connections to the crimes against Tylee, JJ, and Tammy?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned several texts and communications and emails reflecting a need for money or a monetary value. Did that communication about money and need for money and life insurance money have any significance for investigative follow-up?
It did.
And did officers take those steps?
Yes.
You also mentioned that the electronic data and the evidence that you possessed and researched reflected a relationship and perhaps an agreement between Alex, Chad, and Lori. Why was that significant to you in terms of the investigation and items and directives you gave? That was a long question. If you need me to rephrase, I can.
Do that one again.
You indicated, based on your review of the electronic information in the iCloud and instructions you gave to others, that the evidence of a relationship or an agreement between Alex and Chad and Lori was significant.
Correct.
Why?
Well, from the beginning, it was clear that the romantic relationship between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow was the driving force behind the crimes that are alleged to have taken place. And Alex Cox had a role in assisting for those things to happen. You also discussed that there were several messages or planning for the future.
Any idea how many?
Several.
Why is the presence in the defendant's own words of planning for the future or wanting to be together, why is that significant in terms of the investigative efforts you directed?
Because it's evidence that's directly generated by Lori Vallow.
Okay. Now, you've talked about various items. Were there other items in the iCloud reflecting anything that had been deleted? Was there evidence of items deleted but not gone in either Lowy Time or Lori for Style?
Yes, there are deleted texts, meaning deleted off of the device, off of the phone, but they're present in the iCloud.
Okay. Did some of those chats or items in the deleted section include chats or attempted chats with Kay Woodcock?
I'm sorry.
Did some of the deleted information include deleted chats with Kay Woodcock?
I'm not sure if they were deleted or not. There were messages from Kay Woodcock to Lori Vallow regarding wanting to FaceTime JJ or to have JJ attend Charles Vallow's funeral service, but I don't know if those were deleted.
Okay. Did you see any evidence that Lori had responded to any of those?
No.
Okay. Now, prior to September 8th of 2019, did you see instances of Tylee, Ryan, a teenager, texting or communicating with her mother?
Yes.
Okay. After September 8th of 2019, did you see any evidence of texting or communication between Chad and Lori?
Between Chad and Lori?
I'm sorry, Tylee and Lori.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about other things to see whether they were there or they were missing. Prior to September 18th, did Lori Vallow's iCloud accounts reflect pictures of the children?
Yes.
Did they reflect emails of or about the children?
Some.
Okay. Did they reflect messages of the children?
There were a lot of messages about the day-to-day activities, primarily JJ to a lesser amount, Tylee, but yes, those were present.
And prior to September of 2019, were there videos of the children?
Yes.
Okay. After September 8th of 2019, did you see evidence of the Tylee, either through pictures, emails, messages, or videos?
Nothing after September 8th.
Okay. What about, as to JJ, what about after September 22nd, or the morning of the 23rd? Did you see any evidence of JJ in the pictures, the emails, the messages, the videos?
No.
Okay. Was that a stark contrast to what was before September?
Yes, very stark.
Now, in your review of the iCloud, that winter and spring of 2019, did you see any messaging about Lori attempting to just divorce Charles?
No, there were a total of 2 text messages regarding a divorce between Lori Vallow and Charles Vallow. The first was in February of 2019 and was a message from Lori Vallow's bishop indicating Charles Vallow was going to serve her with divorce papers. And the second message was from Charles Vallow to Lori Vallow on June 29th, 2019, indicating he intended to divorce Lori Vallow. Both of those messages were from other people to Lori Vallow regarding a possible divorce.
Did you see any evidence in any of Lori's information or the search history or the text messages or the messaging that Lori searched for a divorce attorney?
I want to object this. This is 404B.
Give me just a minute to think about that objection, counsel. Which part, we've already had some testimony come in, Mr. Thomas, and without going too much into a speaking objection, what in particular about that question you think relates to 404B?
Anything about the divorce? It has nothing to do with anything that we're dealing with today. And in a 403, I would also object.
Response.
Your Honor, the state's evidence has shown that there was, throughout the different charged conspiracies, there was a motive, a consistent motive running throughout them that Lori Vallow needed her spouse gone, but not divorced.
Okay, and this was just in generalities for the.
Right. It reflects motive, intent, absence of mistake to commit the crimes that she's charged with.
All right, counsel, could I have a quick sidebar?
Keep thinking about the fact that she's right there, bro.
And looking at June of 2020, did the FBI and law enforcement ever stop looking for JJ and Tylee?
No,
Why not?
that is the posture that you have to take in a missing child case, that you always hope for the best outcome and work as tirelessly as possible until the case is resolved.
And in this situation, looking at all of the messaging and communication that Lori Vallow had, did you ever see any evidence that JJ Vallow was alive after September of
I
2019?
appreciate that.
No,
Did you ever see any evidence that Lori was looking for him or trying to support him or help him after September 22nd, 2019?
No.
As for Tylee, did you ever see after September 8th of 2019 in any of her email accounts, any of the information, her text message, that Lori Vallow was looking for her?
No.
Did you ever find any evidence that Lori Vallow had that Tylee was alive after September 8th of 2019?
No.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. Mr. Thomas, will you be doing cross?
Go.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Here we go.
Investigative efforts that took place.
So you didn't talk to anybody with regards to him being a patriarch. You just made that assumption.
Objection, compound question.
Overruled.
Based on the totality of the investigation, to my knowledge, Chad Daybell is not a patriarch.
Okay. I'm going to ask that he's stricken. That's non-responsive to the question.
They didn't understand what
That's
you said
overruled.
because your freaking bass voice went so fast. All I heard, I heard boom dee doom doobity.
The response he gave.
The state asked you if there were any videos of on Lori Vallow's Lori for Style and Molly Time at iCloud.com. Is that correct?
Man,
Yes.
And you indicated that there were hundreds of videos.
Yes.
The only videos that were played today was one short video, correct?
is it just me or is it almost impossible to hear what he's saying? Like I literally don't understand. It's so muffled. Not even muffled. It's so he must be like lips to the mic right now. I can't hear what he's saying.
Two short videos, one JJ and one Tylee.
Correct.
All right. There were lots of videos of Lori singing with her children, correct?
Yes.
Lots of videos of her playing on the beach with her children, correct?
Yes.
Lots of videos of her interacting in totally normal ways with her children, right?
Yes.
None of those were shown today?
Correct.
Okay. On page 2 of the 92-page
It's tough to hear.
summary that you did, line 2585 says, from Lori Vallow to Audrey Baratario. Do you recall that conversation?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Audrey. This is Lori. I would love to talk to you sometime. Text me or call me. I'm excited to be able to talk to you about what we both know. You recall that?
I do.
All right. So what was the relationship between Audrey and Chad?
For real.
Audrey met Chad in the fall of 2018, and she viewed Chad as a spiritual advisor, someone that she looked up to for spiritual guidance.
The leader.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chad had a number of women that he talked to over text or over the phone. Is that correct?
A small number. Yes.
Small number. Okay. Melanie Gibb, she was one of those?
Yes.
Okay. Melanie Boudreau, she was one of those?
Correct.
I can't understand him.
Anybody else?
He sounds like the freaking dude from Waterboy. Yeah, that's exactly what this dude sounds like.
There was a reference to Julie Rowe, but I don't recall that I saw specific messages between Chad and Julie Rowe.
What about Zdeno Pastinez?
Yes.
She was also in the group?
Correct.
In fact, there were a number of women that were in the group with Chad, right? He was kind of the leader of this group.
It's hard to catch him, man.
Along with Lori. Yes.
You went over a number of texts in here, and I'm not going to go through them because, well, we don't have the time. Not every text was about the affair that Lori was having with Chad, right?
Correct.
There were a lot of normal texts, right?
Between Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow.
On Lori for Style or the Lolly Time at iCloud. I mean, there were just a lot of normal texts on there.
Are you justifying her? Is that what we're doing here? Is that your approach as the defender? A lot of normal text between all the nonsense that's such BS you can't believe in. It's damning evidence. But there's some other stuff in there, right? Like you want to go get some pizza or whatever tonight,
Right?
Could you clarify between which parties?
Sure. There were texts about Lori doing normal mom stuff, right, to various people.
Yes.
Okay. There were texts about Lori talking to her friends just about her day, right?
Yes.
Okay. There were texts about Lori taking her kids to school.
Yes.
Texts about Lori taking JJ or Tammy to their doctor's appointments.
Yes.
Texts about Lori giving them fast food or going out to restaurants.
Yes.
There were texts about the nuances or the ins and outs of life, like paying bills, those kinds of things.
Correct.
paying bills off
And based on your review of the text
children money that they were getting from the government?
as a whole, as the state has indicated, you reviewed all these texts or a large number of these texts. Isn't it true that Lori was, for all intents and purposes, a pretty good mother?
With the exception of what happened to her children, yes.
All right.
Boom.
And based on your review of the text as a whole, Lori seemed to have led a pretty normal life until she met Chad Daybell. Is that correct?
Yes, I would say so.
Okay. In your review of the totality of these records that you reviewed, did it ever come up what Lori's prior Wi-Fi passwords have been over the last 13 years? Prior to 2019, the 13 years prior?
I have a vague recollection of some exchanges between Lori Vallow and Charles Vallow as they moved residences along that line, but I could not tell you what those passwords were.
She finally shows her beautiful face.
Would it surprise you if I told you that Lori's go-to password was the number 5 kids and the number 4 ever? 5
Objection,
kids
Your Honor.
forever.
Assumes facts not in evidence.
Overruled.
That could certainly be the case.
Okay. You don't recall seeing that ever come up in any text or anything?
Off the top of my head, I'm sorry, I can't remember. I may have seen that in my review of the iCloud. I don't recall specifically if I have or not.
Okay. On the particular day that you indicate where Alex sent Lori a text about setting up her new password, is it possible that Lori was busy doing other things and that Alex was there to set up the password and he couldn't remember the 5 kids forever password, and he told the guy who set it up that it was just too many kids? Is that
Objection.
possible?
Objection calls for speculation.
Yeah, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. You're really trying to argue for that? Too many kids is lit. Alex can do math, I'm assuming. Yeah?
That's sustained.
Did you, in your review, find anything to support your theory that too many kids meant that Lori had too many children, as in Tammy and JJ were too many?
It says too many kids. You don't need any other evidence. It says too many kids. Am I supposed to believe that means something else? Oh, I wish I was in this courtroom, motherfricka.
No, the password stands alone.
Okay. Do you know who Nathan Pacheco is?
I do not.
Okay. On page
What was that? Do you naked check this?
49 of your text. So you didn't do any research as to who Nathan Pacheco is?
I didn't.
You didn't Google him?
No.
Would it surprise you to know that he's a fairly famous religious singer?
I wouldn't doubt that.
Okay. And would it surprise you to know that he,
Would it surprise you?
Lori had a crush on him?
Judge, I'm going to object to this. It calls for speculation.
Exactly.
Relevance.
How would he know
I'll
that?
contain within text
How
of
the
the
hell would he know if she had a crush on him?
record, so the relevance objection is overruled, and I'll allow some latitude there as it needs to be relevant.
Yep.
Sure.
She liked
I
it.
have no knowledge of that.
Okay. So it's possible that Lori and Chad's exchange because this was an abnormal exchange, right, where Chad acquiesces to Lori's.
Listen to the pace change when I go to normal. We're on 1.5. Listen to this pace change just for 1 second. It says normal.
To Lori's death percentage or whatever, what have you, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So this is an aberration of what normally happens.
Yes.
Chad normally says, this person is light, this person is dark, this is the number, and everybody just kind of goes along with it.
Dog.
That's right.
All right. So what if Lori had a crush on this guy and was joking with Chad about, hey, I think he's light, and Chad's joking with her about, I think he's dark? That would make more sense. That would put it into context, right?
That's a joke. All the other light and dark people got destroyed. What are you talking about? This is a lighthearted joke? When it comes to actually unaliving these dark people, hell no, it's not a joke.
Objection. It calls for speculation. Defense counsel is attempting to testify.
I'll sustain that.
Okay. But in your review of these 100,000 or so records, I don't know how many you said that you've reviewed, there was not another time where Chad would give some type of a death percentage, and then Lori would override him that you can remember.
That's correct.
Okay.
%100%.
Did you ever hear any references to anybody named Ira and Ralph?
Yes.
Okay. And did you research who Ira and Ralph might be?
I believe that Ira was the name of another entity that supposedly was in Charles Vallow's body. Ralph, again, I believe is a name of another entity, and I'm sorry I can't recall who Ralph was attached to.
Okay.
They're dark spirits.
You ever watch Romancing the Stone? You ever seen that movie?
Kirk Douglas?
Yeah.
Michael Douglas?
Would it surprise you to know that is just a reference to the Romancing the Stone people?
Judge, I'm going to object. There's facts, not assumes facts and not evidence. Relevance.
Yeah.
If I may respond, Judge.
Go ahead.
He's testified that he's reviewed all these records. He's seen Ira and Ralph come up a number of times. And I'm just asking if he knew the reference, if he actually did any research on it.
I'll allow that for that purpose.
I don't like
Thank you.
listening to him
Did you do any
talk.
research on it?
It's deep.
Well, that's a difficult proposition because these are names that Chad Daybell is assigning to these individuals. I don't know how I would do research on the name Ira or Ralph outside of the
Who is
context of the
Ralph?
case.
Who is
So no.
Ira?
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Very good. So on page 51 of your summary, you indicate that JJ was talking crazy and that he was saying crazy stuff. You recall that?
Yes.
He was at a 0. And so my question is, what happens when a person reaches a 0 percentage?
Ask your
According
client.
to the case, that means that they're ready for death.
They're ready for death, or they're dead, or they're what?
Well, clearly at that particular point in time, JJ wasn't dead, but within 6 weeks he was.
So
Oh, she's asking. You know, it's hard to pick a favorite, but Vader's for sure my favorite. For sure. You don't have to send me anything if you don't want to. It's okay. I appreciate the question because this is insanity.
you also testified that depending on your scale or depending on how you want to look at it, they could be either 100 or 0.
I don't, but I'm serious. He's never sounded this drowning of the noise. Like my headphones are buzzing.
Those percentages would be towards death, right?
Judge, I'm going to object is vague. It's not his scale. And
He testified. I apologize.
Sorry, and
it's a compound question in state's facts, not in evidence, and it's confusing.
I don't believe it states facts not in evidence. That did come out, but it is a compound question. And Mr. Thomas, if you'd specify what the scale is you're talking about again.
Very good.
In other words, clarify it's not the witness's scale.
Right. Page 20, line 2660. Let's turn to it.
And I apologize, counsel. Which email address 2660?
It's on slide number 20. It's line number 26.
We're almost done, guys. We got a few minutes left.
I'm sorry, page 23. Page 23, there's some talk about using swords of light to cut through someone's aura. That's not real, right?
I don't think it's real.
It's fantasy.
Yes.
All right.
When your fantasy turns into unaliving people, we don't do that.
On page 17, line 2706, it reads from Lori Vallow to Chad Daybell. I just got the letter from the insurance company saying that I'm not the beneficiary. It's a spear through my heart. Who did you think he changed it to, Brandon or probably Kay? He left nothing for JJ, right? You remember that?
Yes.
And this is from Lori to Chad. Her main concern was that that Charles had left nothing for JJ, her son, correct?
That's what she states.
All right.
Damn, that mic is like this. This is like this all day.
Daughter, you have done well. I am very pleased. You have been prepared for every moment and surrounded by those who love you. And it goes on. And you indicate that father, in that particular context, you thought was Chad Daybell. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. It's not possible that Melanie Bedreau got her own revelation from God or Heavenly Father?
I think in the line that follows,
He said daughter.
Lori makes a reference to Chad that was a sweet message. Can you read it? Can you tell me the next line?
That's a very nice message Mel B received from Lori to Chad.
Right.
So you think that the message was from Chad to Melanie Bedreau?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have any evidence of that?
Only that Melanie Bedreau frequently referred to Chad Daybell as dad or her father.
Okay.
That's tough. That's a.
On page 41 of your summary, you make reference to a chart. I'll just read it to you. Line 1774. This is on July the 30th, 2019. Text from Chad Daybell to Lori Vallow. Yes, we might need to release a little steam when we talk. Anyway, this is the chart that checks what percentage mortals are still in their body. It worked for my friend's wife who died, my neighbor, George Bush, Stan Lee, etc. So did you recover the chart?
I did not. I looked for it extensively and could not find it.
Okay. Did you ask any other agents to look for the chart?
Yes.
And nobody could find the chart?
Nobody could find the chart.
So it's probably just something that he made up, some fantasy.
I don't know if it's that or if it just didn't attach to the message.
Okay.
This is wild. Well done, my daughter. Good, faithful daughter.
On page 47 and
Got
48,
kids.
you indicated in your testimony that Chad Daybell used religious concepts to manipulate others. Is that correct?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Chad Daybell purported himself to be a visionary man who could discern light and dark spirits. He claimed to receive revelations, and he would use those things to his own selfish purposes.
To manipulate a lot of people.
Yes.
Including Lori Daybell.
At times.
Thank you. No further questions.
Hold on.
Redirect.
Yes, Judge, briefly. Defense counsel asked you about Chad Daybell manipulating people. The last few questions, do you recall those?
Yes.
Okay. Was there evidence that Lori Vallow manipulated Chad Daybell?
Yes.
Was there evidence that Lori Vallow manipulated Alex Cox?
Yes.
And defense counsel asked you about fantasy versus fiction or fantasy versus reality. Do you remember those questions?
Yes.
For Alex Cox, in your review of all of the evidence, including the iCloud, did Alex Cox believe the religious information given him by Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell?
Yes.
Did Alex Cox act on the religious information provided to him by Lori Vallow?
How do you mean?
It's almost.
Did he move
over.
up to
You're
Rexburg?
sorry.
Yes.
Did he move near his sister?
Yes.
Did Alex Cox believe the information given to him by Chad and Lori that he was Lori's protector?
Yes.
Now, defense counsel asked you about a bunch of women, some of whom we've heard from, some of whom we haven't. Did you remember those lines of question?
Yes.
How many of those women had their children dead and buried in Chad Daybell's backyard?
None.
Nothing further.
All right, that'll conclude the testimony of this witness then.
He said, "Wow."
Counsel, given the time, I'll
All right, guys. We did a long one today. Appreciate you guys being patient. That was a lot of information, man. That was a plethora of information, things I did not know, the conversations being had in the background. That was a lot. That's a lot to process. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being always. I just thank you for being a part of the healing and going through this information. This would not be something I want to do by myself. It'd be really hard. You know, you guys make it easier. So I hope you always know. That's why I say I appreciate you and love you. You guys are just acting like a, just like a family. So, but with that being said, we are going to finish out this week. We've got 2 more days. I think we'll be done by this weekend with this one, and we'll start Chads on Monday. Obviously, we won't go next Friday when the sentencing is, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with a lot of people when they're here in town. So there's going to be a lot going on, but I'm always going to try to make sure that we spend time together. And then on top of that, I'm also going to probably talk to you guys that night of the sentencing. And so I'll probably do a live that night. I'll let you know, but that's an idea that I have that we can just talk about it, even if it's raw, just so you guys know where I was at with it. So anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Love you. See you guys tomorrow. We might do another 10:30 and just get through whatever amount of stuff we need to finish up. I'm going to go look back at the list and we'll go from there. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Have a good rest of your day or night.